Hello there. How's it going?
Good evening,
Howdy,
ladies and
howdy, howdy,
gentlemen.
hi.
Welcome everyone to another session of D&D brought to you by Battlecry or Die, where we're going through one of the 5e modules, Horde of the Dragon Queen, or a slight variation of, we should say. But it's been pretty fun. So last time when we saw our heroes, they did some things, and but not a whole lot of things. Primarily, a couple of sessions ago, if you guys watched, our party had discovered that some of their items had been taken by a couple of council members that were corrupt and involved with, or potentially involved with, Dragon Cult. And so they decided to go in and infiltrate this particular area and get some of their stuff back. Well, they went through this process, discovered this little political this building where little political meets happen, that is attached to a property where there is this large mansion, rather large mansion. And in this large mansion, there are a couple of residents who are part of the council, and a couple of these members are the two that are believed to be corrupt. So in the northwest portion of this property, there's a small building where political meets are held, and this is where our party found their items. After grabbing their items and escaping, with only the loss of one ethereal elk, after a small ceiling collapse, our party escapes out into the city. So you guys had run from the scene, essentially. Ricard, having been invisible for a while, with Kidron and your pseudo-dragon in tow, had shouted that there was corruption in the council, that some of the council were Dragon Cult members. You guys then proceeded to a tavern that you found along the pathway, headed southward towards where your family shop is, and had hailed and purchased the service of a particular cartman, who then drove you guys back over to where the High Lady's hideout was. Atlas and Skodrick, you guys had essentially made your escape on the cart westward towards the High Lady's hideout. And Roland, you eventually caught up with them after swooping down from the sky, giving Skodrick a little bit of a startle. And upon the convergence of everyone in the alleyway where the High Lady's hideout was, you guys decided to take a look through, discovered that the door was not locked, and the building essentially had been abandoned, with some of its wares having been taken, either alluding to potential robbery, theft, or someone in an attempt to pack everything and running out of time and having to leave hastily. As you guys kind of went through there, you discovered beneath a pyramid a letter left from the High Lady herself. But not before you guys went into Ulfney's warehouse, which is in the basement of this particular building. This building's like 3 stories, one basement level, and then the ground floor, and then the level above that. His little shop, basement shop type area here, seemingly left unscathed, unmarked, unnoticed, seemingly, after having some trouble getting in. Bypassing some traps, not setting off a couple of others, or et cetera, et cetera. So where we find our heroes, essentially, I know Ricard, you had gone back up, and I think Kidron had gone with you. I'm not 100% sure who else had gone up the stairs with you back to retrieve the pyramid that you guys know was crafted by Ulfney himself, that the High Lady had used previously to create an illusory effect, essentially masking whatever meeting was going on in that particular room. Upon retrieval of that, you discover the letter. So, the contents of the letter, after having read it, you discover that essentially the High Lady had left upon finding out that someone had ventured through the passageway underneath the city before it's being sealed up, had discovered where the passage led, and so as not to allow suspicion, the High Lady had decided that she and any of the guards that had been working with her would vacate the premises in order to prevent the perception of anybody else that she might have been involved in any kind of sketchy, potentially cultist type involvement, right? Or evidence, to prevent anything like that from appearing. She also mentions that the only time that she had was to essentially scribble this letter and then leave it and vacate the premises. So that's what you guys gain from the letter. In the letter, she does mention that her place of residence, she's going to take some precautions in getting there. So it's going to take her a few hours probably to get there because she's going to use a roundabout way of getting there. But where she plans on going is the Harpers. So she plans on meeting up with them. So you guys have a decision as to where y'all would like to go. I know there were a couple of options being thrown around. Somebody mentioned staying with Ricard's family friend's shop, or I think some of you may have mentioned going back to meet up with Atlas's parents, potentially, and maybe staying there, or the place that you guys had stayed previously. So there are a couple of options there. All right, so that is where we open up. So any initial?
What time of day is it? Like what we know?
It's very late. What?
Right.
Where were we at? Shift change happened at what, midnight? Was it?
Yes, roughly. It was
So
shortly before midnight.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably.
Would anyone be at the shop, Ricard?
Yeah, they whoever's on staff running it stays there. Normally that's, well, anyway, that regardless of that, it would, yes, somebody would be there.
Gotcha. And then Atlas, your family would, I mean, if we were to stay there, it would be like, what, in the warehouse or?
Well, we could probably stay there, or if we want to go chat up Ulfney for a little while, I think he's in my room.
Remember, you guys have discussed this a little bit, and something that you recall, that everybody recalls, is that there was a previous discussion last session about this very thing, about Ulfney's having mentioned heading back to his warehouse in Verdusk.
Yeah, we could go by and see if he's there.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps he is.
Yeah, I'd rather we tell him what we did to his shop.
I mean, we didn't do anything to what. Did you do something to his shop, Scotcher?
Well, we broke in.
We did break in.
Well, we broke into it.
In the door, but I mean, like, we didn't like break anything. We just picked a lock.
We didn't.
Well, the guillotine
we didn't
came
break anything.
Well,
we broke the boundary
before he goes in.
We broke the confines of his boundary.
Yeah,
sure. But I mean,
we did infiltrate his shop, so it would be good to let him know. Maybe a message would suffice when we have the ability.
I mean, unless you need to talk to him something specific, Atlas. Is there anything you wanted to discuss with him?
Well, I didn't know if maybe you guys wanted to get his help with something, or there's nothing that I need to tell him that's of super importance. And I just saw him yesterday anyway, so.
My worry all centered around not knowing what the High Lady, why she had done what she did.
Yeah.
And I kind of let out an audible, Ricard lets out an audible sigh.
Why? What was
But
it?
what she wrote makes perfect sense. So I have no reservations right now.
And she said she's at the Harper's, like, or she was headed there or something.
Correct.
Now, was that using a tunnel, or is that maybe think that she went through the city to do that?
I don't know. Being that somebody discovered the tunnels, she might have bypassed that.
Roll an intelligence check real quick, Ricard.
Okay. That is a 8. Starting the night off strong.
Gotcha. Okay. So with that, one of the things that you think about is maybe not in any specific details about how this process might go about or whatever, but one of the things that you would think is when something like this happens, it is always a good idea to check the status of any other positions in the city, potentially just in general. If one is in a city and one of their secret places is discovered, to go through and see if any of the other areas have been compromised is typically an intelligent thing to do. So it is possible that if she had any other places set up where she might be able to go and hide or do the same kind of thing that she does here. She might be checking on those places en route to and stopping there before she gets to where the Harpers are.
Yeah, so I'll bring that up and say, yeah, and although I'm not sure which route she would have gone, she did mention it would take a while, and it shouldn't take that long to travel there, even underground. Fact is, she's probably checking her other holdout positions, safe houses, things like that she's established, to make sure they're, verify what has been compromised and what has not, right? So that if she needs to fall back somewhere else, she knows where will be safe before the need arises. It's not good that somebody discovered what they did. So, yeah. The only two places I would really be, well, I guess, only two places I would really feel comfortable would be at the Harpers or back in my family's shop.
I was gonna say that's probably the best place, anyways. The Harpers. Not even, nothing to do with your family shop, anyway. What do you guys think, Skodrick? What do you think?
I'm fine with it. I would I would have gone back and got Went from the warehouse, but it's okay. We can. She's in good
Is
Was
hands.
it on the way?
At the warehouse? Oh yeah, you did see the Dragon
She
Tower.
is. Okay. Yes, she's there. Well, what if? Okay, so we're kind of, although none of us are really hurt. Am I right? Everybody's okay.
I'm
No,
fine. Yeah.
just those guys that got messed up.
Yeah, those guys didn't come out the best. But I am
with-
kind of spent outside of that, right?
Yeah.
Kidron standing next to you guys, he agrees. He mentions that he would like to take a rest and potentially spend some more time in commune or meditation in an attempt to commune with Lathander once again, and then mentions that he's going to need to recast the ritual to resummon his elk, and so would like to take some time to do that as well. He says though that he will probably find a place a little more private to do so.
Sure.
Okay, Keitron, that's fine, man. What do you think, Roland? You cool with the Harpers?
Sure. I did technically want to swing by a card shop just to pay off a debt that I owe.
Well, what if we because we need to go get Went too, but I'm just worried
I mean,
about
you could fly
tramping
there.
around the
Me
city
too.
after
'Cause those are-
raising that level of alarm. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
opposite sides of town.
Maybe we could go in the morning, because I would
Sure.
like to go back to my shop too, and we have some things that were in our bag in our pack that we needed to unload, and
Okay.
And then we need to work together to we need to tally everything up so we know what cut to give Atlas.
Oh yeah, that.
Correct. DM, question.
Sure.
I'm having a hard time remembering. Did I give him the straight $500 gold yet?
Mm-mm.
No,
I don't
think-
recall
I mean,
me-
I would be honest with you anyway, but
Okay.
no, I don't think so.
I was trying
Uh,
to give him something, just so he
I'll
wouldn't bring it up again, but we
reach
didn't.
into my bag of holding and pull out a pouch and kind of quickly count out and weigh and verify and hand Atlas 500 gold standing right there. I said, "There's the 500 gold to start with. I promised."
You can pour it in my bag of holding if you want.
Well, it's
Oh, this
just a
guy.
pouch. There you go. It's yours. You count it. You do so as you see fit. But once it's in your hand and goes in your bag, you've gotten your money as far as that part of it is concerned.
I
Agreed?
appreciate that. You definitely held up your word.
I try to be a man.
But
of my
maybe,
word,
yeah, definitely.
no matter what I say.
Where are we headed, guys? I know we
I-
got some more important things to do than lucrative subjects.
If we're just trying to get some rest, I mean, I'm fine wherever. So the Harper's is fine, but I mean, I feel
I
like
think
if we go there, it's going to end up leading to a conversation,
Mm.
just more talking. And I mean, if you guys really want to go to sleep, then that's cool. I just don't know how we're gonna.
Do we think we have a time limit on the high lady actually being at the Harper's? Do you think
That
she'll
too.
move by the time we get there though?
Uh,
If we wait?
no, I think she's going to be there for the night.
And are we still trying to infiltrate tomorrow or no? I know we talked about that.
That's something we need to wrap up with her. So I think going to the Harper's is my vote.
Okay.
I'm
Go to
fine
the
with
harbor,
that.
spend the night, and then in the morning we can go get Went, go by my family's shop so Roland can finish up his business. We can go by, maybe even Ulfney will be back by then if he's traveling quickly, teleporting.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe he'll have the armor he promised me.
Oh, that's a good point. So yeah, we can do that first thing in the morning. Because I don't, and we can work around the infiltration if we're going to be involved in it or not.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good idea. Okay, we'll just
Cool.
do that then.
So we agree. So we do the thing.
Sure.
Yep.
Fast forward.
All right, DM. What do we need to do to find the exact location of the Harpers?
Okay, so what I'll have you guys do is I'll have everybody make an investigation roll. But Atlas and Ricard, you guys both get advantage on it
Okay.
for
Oh,
your
for being here.
previous residents. Yeah, for being previous residents.
Oh god. What did I do?
Something that you could recall. Go ahead, Roland. I'm sorry.
No, I clicked on something and it did something weird, but I fixed it. Never mind.
Oh, got you. Okay. Now, Roland, one of the things that you think of is that thieves, or
All right, where are you basing that off my roll, or if you just something I know? Because I got an
no,
8.
no, no. This is just something that you know. This is just something that you know.
Hey, what did you guys get? So
that
the audience knows what you guys got. Just for the
I got
record.
a 25.
Yep. Roland, what'd you get?
He'll-
I got an 8.
I got a
Scotch-
19.
Scotch got an 18.
Okay, there we go.
But go ahead, DM. You were talking.
So, Roland, one of the things that you would think about is that you might have better luck seeking out some form of thieves guild or underground workings or something like that, and then through them digging up information if possible,
About the Harpers.
or just in general.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if so one of the wealthiest avenues of information that you personally know about is that.
Mhm.
Okay, so with a 25 and your 19 and 18 there, some pretty high rolls. So you guys can kind of deduce. You begin, talking to, you pass by a couple of the taverns or whatever as you're moving through the city in the general direction of where the Harper's hideout is located. And you pop into a couple of taverns, maybe ask a couple of folks about some generalized information regarding the Harpers. and you begin to kind of triangulate where their location might be. As you continue to move through the city, you find yourself in one particular area, one particular block of Waterdeep. Now, in this particular area, whatever, it's on the edge of two different social classes, and so it's like the border between some of the like noble classes and some of the lesser like middle classes or whatever. And so that's kind of where you find the information kind of leads you to. Um, and now, I don't mean like lower middle classes. I mean like middle classes that are lower than the nobility, whatever. So these are likely some of the upper echelon of the middle class.
Okay. Might I add that I would like to trace all this stuff on my map, so that way I know
Okay.
exactly where we're going later if we want to come back.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna
Um,
just make a note of how valuable everything seems to be in this area for future reference.
Okay. So you guys find yourselves kind of in between the castle ward, the trades ward type area, and the north ward. And so there's like a convergence of those three particular separations in Waterdeep, right? And in and among those three, you find yourselves near the Monastery of the Sun, which Ricard and Atlas, you guys are both familiar with. You've heard of it. Maybe you've not particularly or personally participated in any events going on around there, but you find yourselves very close to where that monastery is. And so as you're kind of traveling through the street, you do take note that there's one particular building in this general area that has a very similar look to the buildings that are surrounding it, except for some subtleties about it that allow the onlooker to gain particular bits of information should they understand the information that they're getting from this building. So, with that, Ricard, you're able to deduce of your knowledge of the symbology or the symbolism that exists in the Harpers that this particular building is utilized for the Harpers. And so, where you guys find yourselves is where Lamp Street and Adamar's Street meet. You guys find yourselves north of that. So in Waterdeep, for anybody who's watching, we're looking at a map of Waterdeep, and we have street names and everything. So Lamp Street and Adamar's Street, north of that.
So we're near Undall's Lane.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. So you guys kind of take note of the building, but it doesn't seem like there's any foot traffic going to or from the building. As you kind of glance up to it or whatever, the front of it is unguarded. There are no gates nor fences. This particular building is a single story building, at least from the perception that you have of the outside of it. A single story building. It's very plain on the front. It's made out of some basic stonework with clay, clay tiles that formulate the ceiling, kind of mortared together. They slant downwards, with the, a little bit of ornamentation hanging around the front, with that particular symbolism that I mentioned before. So as you guys are kind of standing in the street here, you've found yourself in front of this building. How would you guys like to proceed?
Is there a front door to the building, I assume?
There is. Make a perception check real quick. Sorry. Anybody else who wants to look can also make a perception check.
And I'd like to have my pseudo dragon do one as well, as I'm kind of explaining to her the the symbol, what I'm seeing, this, symbol wise,
Sure.
as far as symbols that the Harpers use, that's leading me to believe this building is it.
Right. Okay.
Did I? Let me get back.
Somebody got a 20.
Yep, Scoutcher got a nat 20.
Congratulations for rolling the
There
first
we
nat
go.
20 of the night.
I got a 16 on mine, and my pseudo dragon got a 22. Good job, Skydrick.
I have this
Nice.
convenient drywall screw that you've won. Congratulations.
Yay!
I will provide it to you soon.
Tomorrow.
Never.
I can give them two if you want one. Also roll it.
I still want what's behind door number 2.
Oh, door number 2. Well, give me about 45 minutes and I'll let you know.
Okay.
Poop joke.
Sorry, guys. We're mature always. Okay.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Get used to it.
Okay, so as you guys are kind of looking at the front of this or whatever, you see the basic ornamentation, and the rest of you who didn't maybe not have recognized before because of maybe not particularly or specifically studying the Harpers as Ricard has, have now noticed that there are a few deviations in the ornamentation from what you would generally see this ornamentation to represent, right? So there are like some like little plants that are kind of like growing up from the bottom of the wall. You see some vines kind of climbing or whatever. But now, as you kind of look at them, you notice that these particular vines have some specific shapes to them. And those shapes kind of give you some information or whatever. You see, maybe like one of those random lawn ornaments bearing some various symbols or whatever. There's like a little bird bath, and the bird bath has like a bunch of like the little angels with like the bows and arrows with some water pouring out. But in and among those, there is a statuette of a representation of what the Harpers would revere. Um, you guys see the front door or whatever, but then you also note that and the grass here is pretty nice. It's pretty green grass or whatever, but you note that there is a pathway leading from the front door, seemingly around to the right side of the building. So as you're kind of glancing at it, the front door or whatever, it's a very plain door. It doesn't have any kind of door knock or anything like that. It's just your simplistic wood banded together with iron bands with a basic handle. This kind of door you guys would know would be barred on the other side if it had any kind of locking mechanism, but there doesn't seem to be any kind of keyed entry to this door.
Can I just start following the path around
Certainly.
to the side of the building?
You certainly can. So,
Gotta kind of look back and tell everybody, this looks promising.
So as you kind of make your way around to the side of the building or whatever, you see a hooded figure leaned against the rear corner of the building. He immediately looks up and notices you, and then he stops leaning on the building. He stands up straight or whatever, and he turns towards you, and he makes a particular hand motion. So, Ricard, make an intelligence check for me, but do so with advantage.
Okay, 14.
Okay, so the particular hand motion that he makes, maybe you don't recognize the very specific movements themselves, but you do recognize it as a pattern, being something Harpers would use in order to recognize other Harpers or other members of the Harpers.
I take it. Do I know any of those hand gestures at this point? Probably not.
So you've not.
So I'm gonna pull.
You can make a history check.
Okay, I can make a history check. I mean, as far as like knowing how to do them myself, I kind of get that. I understand what.
Okay.
That I
So
don't
you
know
feel
exactly
like
what he's doing. So I got a 17 on my history.
Right. So maybe perhaps you have some familiarity with some of his gestures, and you feel like you've seen them in some of your studies, maybe in a book somewhere. Maybe it was something that one of your previous family had shown you. Um, so if you would like to make I guess a dexterity check, we'll call it, since we
Okay.
don't have performance. Um,
Uh,
you can make a dexterity check to see if you can reproduce something you feel you've seen.
We got performance checks.
Um,
As it is
Do we have
every time.
performance checks?
Yes, charisma.
there are performance checks, correct, or sleight of hand, which is basically a
Um,
dexterity check.
yeah, you can do a sleight of hand if you'd like.
It's all the same for me, except for performance would be lower. So if I can choose,
Right.
I'll take sleight of hand or straight dexterity.
I'll let you use dexterity.
Okay.
For some reason, I was thinking performance was a 3.5 thing.
Nope, it's in here. It's in here. I got a 14 dexterity check.
Okay.
And regardless of how well I feel I've done at it, I'm going to make the gestures. And because I don't feel like I've practiced them and I know them very well,
Sure.
once I do finish, I'm going to hold my hands up in a non-threatening manner and use one hand to, while keeping the other in, in very passive position, to pull my breastplate just far enough so that the Harper pin that I have is visible to him.
Okay. So as you do that, so he kind of watches, almost with an air of being entertained or entertainment there, as you attempt to perform these gestures or whatever. But then you hold your hands up, and as you grab your lapel, to kind of move it over to show him the pen, you see a touch of apprehension, followed by an immediate expression of recognition. And as
And
soon
I'm
as you see that expression, without saying anything, he moves for you to follow him.
all right. So I kind of look back and nod my head towards him for everybody to follow me.
Oh, we saw all that.
I assume did they
He
follow behind me, or did y'all stay up front?
so that depends on if you guys followed him or not.
Oh yeah,
If
that's a good question. Did y'all
if
follow or not?
Probably would have, if it's in the middle of the night, I probably would have kept some kind of an eye on him, because just so that there wouldn't be any kind of like attack or traps or anything.
so regard, you kind of look back or whatever, and standing back at the corner that you had come around, there's Roland kind of watching these circumstances unfold.
So
For all I know, you just flashed him.
Uh,
Like, wow,
I didn't pull my shirt up over my head.
yeah, you did one of these, and I'm like, oh, Ricard, jeez.
Don't
I
get all
remember
flustered,
that
Roland.
night.
So I'm just
I'm
like,
gonna
why? I mean,
I'm
I'm
gonna
just
look
like,
back
yeah,
to
I'm
see
surprised
if
that worked.
everybody's behind me, and as I see only Roland around the corner, I'll go get everybody and come on.
Okay, I'm gonna let everyone know as they're coming around, like waving them on. I'm like, yeah, Ricard showed the guard his tits, so just don't say anything. He's a little embarrassed by it. I want to bring
I
it up.
want to do a perception check there,
I
D.
come I come around. I come
I guess
around.
I'm
See if
rolling
I
a
hear
stealth.
Roland saying that.
Guess I'm rolling stealth now.
Oh, only after I say perception.
I mean,
Really?
I didn't know what's the distance.
Ah,
What's the distance there? I don't know. I mean, I
that's
wouldn't say it
pretty
loud
interesting.
enough
And
to.
my pseudo dragon's gonna roll as well.
That's completely fine. Oh wow,
Oh,
nat
nat
20.
20, 23 on the pseudo
We're
dragon.
gonna see what happens. Oh, a match. That's terrible. Wow. Okay, yeah, we're good. You're
Yeah.
so close. So
Pseudo
close.
Dragon definitely catches it. Okay, so Ricard, you follow him. He makes his way around the back corner of the building, right? And you kind of follow him around, or whatever. As you follow him around, there is like this miniature type garden. As you're kind of looking at it, there's some like well kept bushes that line the back wall of this building, whatever. Um, you then begin to see this particular gentleman perform this type of motion that would indicate he's counting steps. And he takes so many steps along this line of bushes, and then turns towards the back of the building to one bush and just jumps. He then vanishes into the bush.
Can I mimic his movements?
Yes, certainly. Okay, so I need the rest of you guys to make a
I'm
perception.
I'm interested.
And go ahead.
So I need the rest of you guys to
Ooh,
catch a perception check to
got me a
see.
good old
Good old 12.
8.
Okay, it's got it doing double rolls over here. You got an 18.
19.
Oh, you got. Oh yeah, you have advantage
Shield.
on those.
My
Right.
shield, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Shoot.
Now I need to know y'all's marching order.
I'm picking up the rear.
Okay.
since I
I'm
don't have any armor, I would have suggested being in the middle myself.
I guess I'm going first. Um,
Okay.
let's see.
So Roland, you walk a certain distance. You see Ricard disappear into the bushes. You walk a certain distance, and then how do you proceed?
I'm gonna investigate that.
Okay, make an investigation check.
I'm
Sure.
just gonna see what's going on here. 17.
Okay, so you kind of reach forward or whatever, and to see if you can kind of pick out or whatever, and the bush or the portion of bushes that you're standing in front of um, is just a regular bush.
Interesting.
And so as you're kind of looking at it or whatever, it's kind of weird. So you begin to rake your hand across the bush to kind of feel the leaves. Maybe there's something inside. Maybe after you've determined that there isn't kind of any kind of like trap or anything like that. As you rake your hand from one side to the other, um, the the leaves first, are brushing, and a couple of the loose leaves are falling off onto the ground or whatever, and you hear the rustling of the branches or whatever. But eventually, your hand passes from the bush into nothingness,
Mm,
and it seems as if you're still passing through bush. You visibly see your hand still passing through bush, but you feel no resistance as you move over towards the right side of that.
okay, I'm just gonna get a good idea of where that area is and like the
Sure.
spacing, and
Yep.
then I'll just attempt to do what they did in that area,
Okay.
bracing for a fall.
Sure thing.
Okay.
So Atlas, given that you were behind Roland, you now see Roland perform his jump as well, vanishing into the bushes, and now are able to determine and specify the location in which he jumped in. And then, of course, Skodrick, you as well. Um, so as you guys jump into these bushes, right, Ricard, you first jump, and when you emerge, it's almost as if you dropped no distance or whatever. But when you emerge, it feels as if you're standing on the other side of the wall. And you look behind you, and as you look behind you, it seems like there is a solid wall there. Um, there are wall sconces on either side of the entryway that you had just come through, or where you had entered in through to this wall or whatever. You find this room, just regular wooden floor. There are a couple of tables in here with a few people sitting at them, each of them cloaked. Make another perception check for me.
Okay.
Now you see the gentleman who
See.
jumped in.
13 for me.
Okay.
And an 8 for my pseudo dragon.
Okay. Perhaps your pseudo dragon's undergoing a little bit of shock after passing through a solid wall.
She's kind of flipping.
Okay, so as you look around, the walls are lit with a flickering orange light from wall sconces that are burning with a low flame on each of them. There are 3 tables in this room, 2 of which are occupied, one of them by 3 persons, the other one by 2 persons. As you pass through the wall, you see the person who you'd followed in. He is approaching one of the 2 tables. You see him lean over and begin to speak with the people at the table. When first they they kind of look up to see who's entered. When they see his face, they kind of go back to what they're doing. And as you pass through the wall, they make essentially no acknowledgement of your having passed in through the wall. He leans over, speaks with them for a moment, and then moves over to the wall to the right of where they're sitting, to essentially a line of cabinets, most of them without doors. And you see these line of cabinets or whatever, and they all seem to be stocked with different forms of liquor. There are various like whiskey and liquor bottles and things like that. But in and among those, there's one particular cabinet door that's a little bit larger than the rest of them. He reaches out and he knocks on that door. You hear a muffled thud come from the other side of the door, and then he opens that cabinet door. Now, this particular door, right, it's only about 3 feet wide, and it's only about 4 foot high, and it has the appearance of being just a very large, like pantry or cabinet door itself. As he opens the door, whatever, you see him disappear behind this door down, as if he's then begun to climb down a set of stairs. The three people that are kind of sitting on the table on the right hand side, but now between you and where he passed into, they kind of look at you for a moment as if wondering like, well, is he going to keep following him, or what is this guy doing? And then you see the gentleman you had followed in through the wall pop his head back out from behind the door and motion for you to continue to follow.
I'm gonna tell him. Gotta wait on the rest of our
Okay.
friends. Give us just a moment. And so
Yeah,
I'm gonna
sure.
wait for Roland and Skodrick and Atlas and Kedron to catch up with us.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna keep moving unless something changes.
Who's watching the cart? Do we still have the cart? Is there stuff in the cart?
No, there's nothing in the cart.
Okay, cool. Never mind then. Just making sure.
You guys had pretty much loaded everything into the bag of
Okay,
holding.
cool. Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so after just a few moments, the rest of your party kind of comes through, minus Kidron, who has made his way off to do his meditation, perform his meditation. And as you guys come through, the rest of you guys make a perception check again, also.
Okay. I got me a 15 on that.
Come on, natural 1. 10.
Trying to get them out of the way.
Yeah.
Not 20.
Yeah,
Look at
that
you.
advantage is
All right.
insanely useful.
Okay, so you guys see everything that Ricard had seen, with the exception that Skodrick, as you're looking around, you see that each of these figures or whatever, they are all bearing weapons. And as you take note of the weapons, you note that there was an attempt to make sure that anybody entering the building would not know that they had weapons. And as you're kind of looking at them, these weapons aren't normal. They have some significance to them, a specific uniqueness. As you kind of check out, you might see like a sheath barely sticking out from beneath a cloak, but the sheath itself is a fairly ornate sheath, and a couple of other details like that. So as you continue to look around the room, you see the doorway that the gentleman is poking his head out of, and you note the kind of cabinet situation set up with all the various bottles of alcohol or whatever. But you know that after the door is shut, you can also tell that a portion of the cabinet has the possibility or capability to slide in front of it, to mask the fact that there is any kind of cabinet door there at all.
Wow.
And as you're looking around the rest of the room, you note that there are quite a few. You see the wear and tear on the floorboards or whatever, and you note that around the tables where the gentlemen are sitting, there's quite a bit of wear and tear or whatever. But there are a couple of boards in the corner of the room as you're looking or whatever, and those couple of boards you see along the base of the wall. So they kind of butt up into the corner of the room on the far side. And you see the base of the wall, and there looks like there's some unusual wear in that corner at the base of the wall, almost as if the boards have been lifted and let down frequently. Though, as you're kind of looking in that area or whatever, the number of boards that you would deduce to be loose or whatever don't seem to be enough to allow somebody to pass through them. And so you kind of get the feeling perhaps that location might be utilized for some sort of storage, though you're not 100% sure what. As you're looking around the rest of the room, you then begin to note, as you're looking at the persons that are sitting, you then begin to note that each of them is bearing some kind of symbol or mark or pendant of the Harpers. And you even note that on the neck, the right side of the neck of one of them, he has a tattoo of the Harpers symbol. Now, given the knowledge that you have or whatever, they're typically semi-secretive. There's a bit of secrecy that happens in among the Harpers, so as to prevent any malicious groups to figure out who they are, follow them, et cetera, et cetera. And generally, when somebody has a tattoo like this, they're a little bit higher in ranks. So this is someone that acts either entirely in secret or is a little bit higher up the chain. So the rest of you guys pass through the solid wall, and kind of begin to follow Ricard into the room. Ricard, as you kind of see your party enter or whatever, you can then begin to follow the gentleman through this particular cabinet door.
Yes.
Okay, so as you pass around him, or pass around the room into where this little cabinet is, everybody kind of has to duck to get into it. There are a set of 2 or 3 short steps that lead to this landing that is a short corridor. At the end of the short corridor, there's another another larger door. Larger in that it's of regular size. So the corridor kind of opens out a little bit, allowing for normal passage after passing down the stairs into this little passageway. He approaches the door. There is the one iron slide on it. He knocks on it. The iron slide pops open. You see a set of eyes kind of glaring through. He then slides the slide shut, and the door opens out. As the door opens out, there are a number of chairs. There are a few more tables in this particular room than there were, and you see a number of doors that line the walls on either side. This space being a little bit larger, and it almost seems as if you guys have made your way far enough that you would be underneath the building adjacent to the building that you guys were in previously. So as you guys kind of walk in through that room or whatever, somebody approaches. This particular person approaches you. It's a young woman, brown hair kind of flowing out the side of her cloak. And she looks at you guys and she says, "The High Lady has informed me that you might be along. We've made space for you to stay safely. You may pick any of the rooms on your left. Stay for the night. The High Lady says that she's got a few things she has to attend to in the morning, but should be back tomorrow afternoon. You can return here then to speak with her should you like to."
Thank you, ma'am.
Very well.
Maybe we should go get some rest, guys.
Yeah, I think that's best.
Hmm.
Cool. So you guys kind of make your way over to the left wall. There are about 5 doors that kind of line this wall. As you open each door, you note that there are 2 twin beds in each of the rooms. They don't look to be the fanciest things in the world, just some basic, packed straw beds that have some animal furs that have been draped over them. There is a chest at the foot of each bed for the storage of personal belongings, and then a side table, should you require it. The side table is kind of in the center of the two beds, and there sits either an oil lamp or a candle of sorts in each of the rooms that you guys come to.
I'll pick the first room we come to. And go,
Okay.
okay, this is where I'll bed down if nobody objects.
Hmm.
Hey,
head
Ricard,
in and-
can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Um,
stop and turn around.
they have some mighty fine weaponry. Do you know who is the blacksmith for everyone, or do they have different ones? Or
There should be an armorer, but most everybody, some people might have their own preferences on who makes a weapon and who doesn't.
Make another, Ricard, make another history check too.
Good deal. See if I know specifically who might
Okay.
be responsible for most of it.
So one of
I
the
got
things that you
a-
recall. Oh, I'm sorry.
15 history check.
Okay. So one of the things that you recall is sometimes there are given to specific members of the Harpers a specific job. And if that specific job requires a specific ability, like let's say that there are a group of trolls that are attacking a particular village or something like that, one might be granted with weaponry that is imbued with fire elemental properties. And so sometimes, depending on the members of the Harpers that are doing specific jobs, depending on what the specific job requires, they might be granted a weapon or armor or an item that will help them accomplish that goal.
So yeah, so basically it, I assume, are you talking about the guards outside? Did you see somebody?
oh yeah,
who
I
you-
mean they look pretty. Let's see, what's the correct
Well
word?
outfitted?
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, if depending on what your station is, you can be issued weapons to suit that station. So they're there to stop intruders. So they have weapons to assist them in doing so. Just like if we send a team into the troll moors, they would be wielding weapons imbued with fire, right?
Right.
So it's more of a issued as needed type of thing. I always prefer to get my own weapons. Having something specific for a job is nice, but having my personal preference on what I wield is better to me.
I was thinking maybe my father might have better, I guess, more income if he started making weaponry like that.
Yeah, if he can make magic weaponry, most definitely.
All right.
But yeah, it's something we can definitely talk about later.
Yeah, let's get some rest.
You guys want to count all the gold and stuff in the morning, I assume, right? Which I'm totally okay with.
Yeah, there's a lot of items outside of our own personal belongings that'll have to be counted up, and that's what we'll divide up evenly. But it'll need to be sold, of course. But I can get a extremely accurate measure of it. But yeah, we'll do that in the morning before we head out, as long as that's okay with everyone.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Oh, no,
I don't actually need any rest right now, so I'm gonna try to find something to
You
do
were asleep earlier.
for a while.
It's just, yeah.
Just keep in mind
So-
if you leave out make sure you have accommodations set up to get back in. And
Yeah.
please be very, very careful.
Yeah,
Guys,
I won't. I don't know if I'll leave, but we'll see.
If you don't mind, I actually need to step away for just a second.
That's
I don't
fine.
know if you guys. I know it's kind of early, but I didn't know if you guys wanted to go ahead and take a little break right now.
I did. I need to get food.
Okay, yeah. Food, coffee, drinks, bathroom break, maybe, and we'll reconvene in 5 to 10, maybe 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah,
For
maybe
sure,
we can chat with people in chat too. I think we got a few people.
Oh yeah, there looks like there's a couple of watchers right now. Thanks guys for joining.
Awesome.
We hope that you guys are enjoying it. So
Good
Yeah,
deal.
we hope so. We're going to be back in just a few minutes, so
Yep.
you'll see us then.
I'll be right back.
All right. Hey, Mike.
Oh, is it Marcus?
No, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Oh, I thought you said Mark for a second. But hey,
Yeah,
anyway.
Hey there. How you doing? I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a drink.
All right. I'm gonna grab some coffee myself. Mike, you have the room to yourself.
Hey, Ricard, did he say that we were going on break or are we still on stream? I can't tell.
Okay. So what's everybody's food of choice this evening?
Oh no, it looks like we're still on.
Oh yeah.
But I
Yeah, we're
heard you.
still here.
Got pizza.
Oh, look at that. Great minds think alike. Pizza.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is leftover. And good old Munster Ultra Sunrise.
Mike said purple potato soup.
Purple potato
That
soup.
seems
Mm.
alien yet delicious.
Yep, that sounds very much like something Michael might have. Now, how you having potato soup, Mike? That's not good for you. Potato soup. Of course, I don't have a whole lot of room to talk. I'm eating pizza.
Yeah. Well,
Definitely not diet food.
and whatever it is you're drinking there too.
Oh, it's so good though.
What is it?
Oh, it's Monster Energy
Oh God,
Ultra Sunrise.
I'd have a heart attack.
It literally tastes like Sunkissed soda, and I love Sunkissed.
For the longest time, I wanted the Monster unleaded because it didn't have any caffeine in it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm so skinny, if I have any caffeine, like, or too much, I'll just get shaky and like sweaty and stuff, so I can't handle it. So I try to stay away from caffeine as much as I can.
That's the what did I have this morning? I had one this morning. Normally, I try and only have 2 a day, except on days that I'm streaming D&D, and sometimes streaming other stuff. Now that I think about it, I may have had 2 a day for a while.
Oh goodness gracious!
But it's morning and evening, right? So it's early in the morning for like breakfast, and then late in the evening at like 10, 11 o'clock at night, right? And then I'm staying up till 2 or something like that.
I'm pretty sure I'd have heart failure if I tried that.
I'm pretty sure my heart's already failed, so. Yeah.
Are you okay?
You walked in at the wrong moment.
I did. I only caught that last bit.
A Monster Energy drink. We're good. What you eating there, David?
Cereal.
Look at there, healthy man. There you go. Atlas is drinking
like
absolutely
Cheerios?
nothing. He's drinking something invisible there.
Yeah, I'm drinking the Cosmos.
I love that so much.
They call it Sprite.
Ah, is that French?
Yeah.
Very good, very good. So, does anybody I know Mike has a Switch. Does anybody else here have a Switch?
I do.
You do?
I don't. I do not.
Okay. So, what do you like playing on your Switch? Like, do you use it? Is it just kind of a desk ornament?
So it depends on what new game is out, because I tend to see that if I play a new game, I'll play it for a few months and then I'll just drop off the face of the earth. The most recent game for me was Animal Crossing, which I've thoroughly enjoyed it, but personal opinion, the newest Animal Crossing isn't as good as the old ones.
Mm-hmm.
Seems to be a little unfinished in my opinion, but that's just, an opinion. But
well, in case people didn't know, the Switches are back in stock all over the place. And
Yeah.
I've been looking for one for a long time.
I thought
You could
about
probably get
getting
an Animal Crossing one from Best Buy, where I work.
That's what I picked up from Walmart.
So I had considered getting one. There are a couple of games that I would like to play. I think Breath of the Wild I would like to play through.
I think it's worth it.
Heave ho.
Pokemon.
Yeah, I think that I might give the. See, I dipped out after Golden
I'm one of
Sword
the.
version. I dipped out.
Oh God, that's a long time ago to dip out.
Look, I had
Oh
Pokemon Yellow
God.
was my first Pokemon game that I played. Like I played before that on an emulator because I didn't have a system have the game.
Okay.
But when I got my first credit card, that's what I went and did. I went and got an Atomic Purple Game Boy Color with all matching accessories and Pokemon Yellow.
Wait, is
And
that
I
what they
had-
called it?
Yes,
They called it Atomic Purple.
it's Atomic Purple.
That's cool.
It was the
Was
clear.
it
No,
the
with-
see-through one? The color? Yeah.
Yes. I had one of those. I had originally had one of the regular see-through Game Boys.
Yeah.
For red and blue version, and then I took it to school with me, and one of the kids at school stole it.
Dickheads.
Oh, the same thing happened to me with the PlayStation Portable.
Ooh.
So stupid, man. So my grandmother, who enjoyed spoiling me, would, she bought me another one. So, and then got me yellow version. That's when yellow version came out.
I never got anything. My first Game Boy was I was a junior in high school, freshman in high school, something like that, and I traded a whole bunch of porn magazines for it.
Nice.
And I got me a Game Boy, the old gray brick Game Boys.
Oh, yeah.
With like 1 1/4 lines of dead pixels,
Well, here we go.
and it still works. The last time I checked it, but you couldn't play. I didn't like playing games in puke green.
Right.
So when the Game Boy Color came out, I got really excited, and but I still have all of them.
Them kids
the-
today won't know the hard times we had when there
Right.
wasn't no backlit screens.
Oh yeah, sitting
So
there.
I-
Oh yeah, sitting there with your LED light bent over,
Oh,
so,
yeah.
you can see, a spot about this big
Yep.
on your screen. Hmm
I think
Did
the
you guys
game
ever
I
have
spent most playing was probably Metroid 2.
I spent
mean, not bad
original
one.
Game Boy or Pokemon Yellow. I spent like 600-700 hours in. Silver
Pokemon
was
Fire Red, I
500.
clocked in 1,200 hours
Damn.
on one game. 'Cause that was Pokemon Fire Red back in the day.
See,
He
I had
said
done
fire.
everything at that point. I was literally just leveling up Pokemon, and unfortunately, like I'd caught Mewtwo and like the whole, or yeah, was it Mew or Mewtwo? Fuck, I can't remember now.
Wait, the pink one or the purple one? Purple and white is Mewtwo.
Yeah,
Pink is Mew.
I had Mewtwo. Thought I'd caught Mew.
I don't think
There's
it
a
was
way to
in-
catch Mew.
Everybody said under the truck in Cerulean City.
Jesus Christ, that damn truck.
It was such a
Now
lie.
you can glitch him in.
I spent so much time around that fucking truck.
Just get a game
You
shark.
can glitch it.
Yeah.
Fucking game shark and call it a day. Like,
It's like the one vehicle
Well-
in the game. They're like, here's a truck halfway
Just
outside.
randomly. yeah, it was a
Oh.
cruise ship.
Believe it or not, there was a way back when I was like 10. I was 9 or 10, maybe even 11.
So 5 years ago.
There was an official way to get Mew in Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Oh yeah.
Toys R Us had an event where they would trade you a Mew for, whatever you wanted to trade them back or whatever. So I gave them like a Weedle or some shit for a fucking
Yeah.
Mew.
See, look, Toys R Us back then was the bomb, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to get in a huge conversation about it, but it was the bomb. I remember going in there, and
Not
that's where I
caring about
got.
shit.
Huh? No, that is where I bought my Atomic Purple Game Boy Color. That's where I got it from. And
I never got shit.
when I bought it, they had a box. They had one of the Pokemon League tournaments there, right?
Okay.
And they had a
remember they
box
used to.
full of Pokemon cards. And I was like, just individually packaged holographic Porygons. I'm like,
Wow.
can I have one of those? They're like, get as many as you want. Those are left over. So I literally have like a stack this big of you could only get them from the tournament.
Nice.
Y'all, I'm gonna need a shout out in the chat if anybody remembers those golden, like thick things that you get from the
Oh,
flea
yeah.
market that they'd have like a hieroglyph of a Pokemon on it or something.
Mm-mm.
I've got
No,
one.
that was Burger
We
King.
needed a shout out.
Oh, that was Burger
got
King. I've got Charizard.
I got like a Mew.
You should.
From, like the
I
movie.
got the Pikachu.
Yeah, a lot of people had to pay. When I opened mine, I paid like $15 for it because it was at a flea market. I opened mine and it was a Togepi, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so that was disappointing. I really wanted like a Mewtwo or something, but
You don't like Togepi?
Oh,
I mean, I
left
like
him in
Togepi, but
Arizona.
you know,
Or
a
the
little
evolution that nobody
Mike,
wants?
9-year-old boy, you're like, I want the badass shit.
Mike left him in Arizona when he
Yeah.
moved. Oh, that sucks so bad.
Yeah,
I gave mine
man.
away, I think, a couple of years ago.
I had a big,
And had a
giant, plushy Pikachu. And I still regret giving that away. I'm not giving shit away no more.
Oh, here,
Just be
it's story
hoarders.
time. Show and tell. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, Mike, David stepped away again. Am I calling him the wrong damn name again?
It's whatever.
It's a little Charmander.
It's Johnny.
Oh.
Billy Bob. See if he gets offended.
Hold on.
And it sleeps.
You know, Charmanders evolve like Saiyans. The more anger they get, the more they evolve.
You mean level 16?
Yep. And then
That's
32.
what I know. Yep. When I was 36 for
36
Charmander.
for Charmander. Yeah.
32 for Bulbasaur, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, he just becomes very angsty at 16.
Jesus, man.
What
kind
mean-
of idiot
I mean,
trainer?
kind of the
Hold
same
on.
thing happens with Bulbasaur and Squirtle too, though.
What kind of idiot trainer gives up a perfectly good Charizard for no reason?
It's
Oh,
that's cool.
Bulba.
cosmic. It's
I think I have the
cosmic
same
Bulba.
one.
That's philosophy.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
There we go. Cosmic
Cosmic
Bulbasaur.
Bulba.
Oh, wow.
That's my Bulbasaur. This is back. I got this back when you couldn't get Bulbasaurs, and he looks correct. He didn't look messed up. Back then they were all like smushed and just jacked up looking.
Yeah.
So this one was imported from Japan. Thank you very much.
Nice.
That's my favorite starter Pokemon.
Before we
Not
get started,
Pikachu.
Hey.
I love Bulbasaur.
I always chose the water. Squirtle.
Have fun with that.
Oh, let me go. Oh, yeah, you went all fucking fire.
No, I used to get all of them eventually. But
Well, I'm saying, what was your first one?
surprisingly in silver was the grass starter.
Really? Chikorita?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did that too. Chikorita was so damn cute.
Yeah.
Couldn't help it.
I went Totodile.
Of course you did. But then generation, was it 4 or 5? That damn pig. What were they thinking? I don't understand. It was just like, and then like all the fire stars ended up being like fire fighting Pokemon, and everyone was like, "Please stop this!" Like
Another?
it's like Blaziken, I thought was cool. I was like, that was my main reason for getting Ruby and Sapphire. But then
Now that I
next one
think
was
about
like
it,
a
he
fire
reminds
monkey.
me of one of the Digimons that I can't. Oh, yeah, War Greymon.
Yeah. Oh,
Blaziken reminds you of War Greymon.
Yeah. Just a
Mike
little,
says
yeah.
Bulbasaur is a ghost. I see. Dyeing your hair red. You should look. You look. Bulbasaur is see-through. He's Cosmic Bulbasaur on the screen. Oh shit, Charmander's here. Fuck!
Yeah. It's not Ghastly.
Ghastly.
Same thought.
Yeah.
We're nerds.
Dude, we're streaming Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
Y'all ever get like that where you eat a whole bunch of food so your blood sugar rises so you get all like jumpy and
I'm the opposite. The less I eat, I get the shakes.
you like so you chill out. Well, that's what I mean. It's like shakes, jumpy, and like ooh.
If I eat too much, I crash.
It's called the itis.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just depends on how much you eat throughout the day. Like if you don't have anything in your system and then you just eat a crap ton of food, like your body's gonna be like, whoa, what?
It's gonna be Thanksgiving.
Stuff.
Yeah.
That was always fun.
Let's watch David in his natural habitat.
Eating.
Here's a
I mean,
random
no.
question. Here's a random question. Who was everyone's favorite Sailor Scout?
Mercury.
already knew
I think
that.
Saturn. I'm pretty sure
Which one's
Saturn is mine.
Which one was Saturn?
I'm just gonna look it up just to make sure.
Mine was the green one, the tomboy.
Okay, see, I
Jupiter?
watched.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure mine is
I think it was
green or
Jupiter. I
something.
think it was Jupiter. Yeah.
I watched
Yeah.
2 episodes of the original series. I don't know, man. Like I don't.
I am Tuxedo Mask.
Oh, Tuxedo Mask was dope.
What was his other alias?
Darren or something like that.
Yeah.
Just a random old
It
Darren.
just got weird.
Then apparently they were from a different planet or some dumb crap.
Yeah.
It never made sense.
But yeah,
I'm
Mercury.
going to talk to you guys about. I got to talk to you guys about stuff after stream.
Oh.
I worked out a deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
snap.
pretty excited.
Who did we sell our souls to? Never mind. We'll find that out.
Hmm.
What deity? Are we the fiend or the fae? The great one?
Yeah. The great old one.
Yeah.
Somebody read Stranger in a Strange Land.
Okay,
Jordan?
so favorite Sailor Scout, I was always torn between Jupiter and Mars.
I think it's
That's
Jupiter
fair.
for me.
Yeah, I kind of lean more towards Jupiter,
Mhm.
but yeah, I was kind of split.
Never Sailor Moon.
No, it's
ever.
Jupiter's everybody's favorite.
I think people like. Well, people like Venus,
Yeah,
but
I
I wasn't
really
really a fan
like-
of them.
Yeah,
And
I
nobody
know-
went
I
with
know-
Sailor Moon. Basic.
I
Not.
gonna say I know a
Yeah,
lot of
I
people, a
don't
lot
think
of
anybody says
girls who
Moon.
like Mercury.
I like. Well. Oh.
No, that wasn't pointed at you, Ron.
Mm.
Oh, no,
I
it's
was
fine.
just saying. I know several females that prefer,
It's
not
the
helping
blue hair,
you at all
man.
now, sorry.
Blue
Yeah.
hair.
I really
all day.
like. I really like how all our tags.
Now, does this
Towards
include Sailor
D&D.
Moon S? Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just thinking like all our tags point towards D&D, and anybody that's popped in the last 20
I've
minutes.
been hearing about Sailor Moon and
Yeah.
fucking. I wouldn't be surprised if one of us brings up My Little Pony or something here in a few
Alright,
minutes.
yeah, let's
but
not do that.
no, I am
I'll
gonna
tell
bring
that
up
one.
this.
I was gonna say,
I
who's your
wouldn't-
favorite
God damn
Powerpuff
it.
Girl? Buttercup.
Ooh,
Alright, let's
Buttercup. Just saying.
probably Blossom.
Bubbles.
Bubbles. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Because Bubbles would go crazy and actually kill
Bubbles is
all the
pretty-
other Powerpuff Girls.
I
'Cause
believe
she's
that.
nuts. She's actually nuts.
Yeah.
Has anyone heard of an old show called Winx Club? It came out in the early
Yes.
2000s.
No.
Yes,
You know about it?
I'm well aware of this show. My
Okay.
sister used to watch it.
We're all back.
Also,
Yay!
also the commercial. Mhm.
Okay, wait. Can we include Sailor Moon S in our Sailor Moon?
What's
Uh,
S?
You don't know what Sailor Moon S is? Okay, here's the fact. That included Sailor Uranus, Neptune,
Oh yeah, okay, I
and
know. Yeah, I know
Pluto.
this.
Pluto.
And all three of them are hotter than any of the other Sailor Moon.
They're all older
I know
than
the
the rest
Girl
of them.
They are,
Yeah.
yes. And they're all hotter than all the rest of the Sailor Scouts. Just for
Well,
the
it
record.
depends on your preference.
It's
Like-
it's your period. There is no
Legal
preference.
age older?
You know.
Of course, David.
Let's
Of
go.
course.
Let's
I'm
go.
not gonna.
So we're sleeping inside the house.
Yeah, I actually need to figure out what my character's gonna do while he's just awake. He might go out and try to find a fight. I don't know. Is it dusk yet? Or I mean,
Oh, it's
dawn?
beyond. No, it's not dawn yet. It's like
I
one.
don't know.
2
Maybe I
a.m.
could go find something. Oh, okay.
Oh no, one of them is over
Okay.
1,000 years old. Just for the record, now I'll go back to D&D.
Does anybody
got
want
weird.
to skip sleeping for a couple hours? Rolling.
Sure. Sure. What are we doing?
The person that doesn't need it.
We're gonna go out and make
Yeah.
some bets, brother.
Okay.
But
How far away are the fight? Is the fight area?
You don't know?
I mean, there's plenty.
I mean, I'm new here. I've seen prison cells.
All right,
In the
so
town
we're
and
on
then
Undal
out.
Lane. I can tell you the one that's near my house is the Court of the White Bull. But I'm pretty sure we could find something around here. I mean, think about it. The Great Drunkard has a huge area outside. There might be some sort of fight going on right now.
You're saying
While we're
words I
speaking.
understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
That place.
Well, we passed by there earlier.
I am
Okay.
sleeping. Just a heads up. I'm sleeping with my armor off.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
and I'm putting on my rings and everything that requires attunement for the night.
Skadrick, do you mind if I leave some of my money with you while you sleep?
Sure.
Just because I don't want to take too much out with me, just in case, you know.
Cool.
Just pop it in the trunk.
Cool.
I'm gonna leave the statue here.
Pop it in the trunk.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so
Are you drunk? I'm sorry.
now, Roland,
Mm-hmm.
the statue that you mentioned, I thought that you had given that to them
To who?
for the expedited upgrade.
I haven't gone back to the shop yet.
Right.
I was gonna
Right.
give them an equivalent
But you
of
didn't have your
1,000
stuff yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so this is what I'm going to allow you guys to do. So I'm going to have both of you guys make investigation checks against it. You're going back out in the town, but Atlas, I'm going to give you advantage on the basis that you've lived here before, right? Unless you plan on just going back to the Great Drunkard.
If I don't find anything, I'll go to the. I'll probably go to the Court of the White Bull or something where I used to fight. I mean, it was close to my house.
Right. Okay. So Atlas, I'll give you an investigation roll with advantage because of your having lived here. Roland, you also can make a roll with advantage, but on the basis that because you're looking for something that's typically a little bit sketchier to do, this would dip in more to like the arena of the Thieves Guild, no pun intended. And so,
Is that advantage or no?
with advantage, yes. So both of you can get
Oh, that's
investigation
Woo!
with advantage. Yeah.
Got me a
So
21 and he got himself a nat 20.
So where you hear rumored of many, outside of the ones that you know already, Atlas, or the one that you know of already, Atlas, you guys hear rumors of many, but you find the specific location of 3. Now, the 3 categories that you get are one of these. So one of these is a well-renowned underground fighting club. It's called the Golden Fist Fight Club. Is what it is. This is generally a members-only type deal. It generally takes invitation into the club in order to make it in. This is something that's highly secretive, almost cult-like, not dragon cult-like, but like, they keep their members in. There's like an entry fee kind of deal, but not fee as in like a monetary payment, but generally some task given or something in order to gain entry into the club. Um, and it's kind of like a first fight is free, but then you have to be a member after that. So they typically make you fight the first time, uh, so that they can kind of like gauge what type of fighter you are, blah blah blah. But also, this is typically only where the elite go to fight. It's called the Golden Fist Fight Club.
Is
So
this
that's one of the three. Go
is
ahead.
it's mainly fisticuffs, or is this like blades and other stuff too? Or
So that's something that's not divulged to the public.
okay,
As far as anybody knows, it is just a fisticuffs type deal.
there's some dead bodies in there. Okay.
But because of the fact that it's a members only, and it is not an open to public for per for watching or whatever, um, people don't really know. The only people who know are those who go, and they're not allowed to talk about it. So.
Oh, so first rule is don't talk about this place. Interesting.
So I was going to ask this, David, if this is something my character might know because of his vast amount of experience in fighting in the city. In some of the places, is there, or perhaps all, I'm not sure, is there like magic enhancements allowed? Or do they just typically want people to just be without any sort of enchantment, transmutation, etc., etc.?
Okay, so what you know, or from what you know, typically when a fight like this is engaged, or fighting like this is engaged, it is done so straight, like sheer strength. There are no enhancements or enchantments or spells or anything allowed. And you even know that people who have attempted to utilize them, even not so with the intention of cheating per se, just perhaps on the occasion that they didn't quite understand the fullness of the rules or rulings for the place that they were fighting, those people were either just ejected or punished and then ejected, or, you know.
So magic is not going to help me, basically. Cool.
Right. So that is.
I'm okay with that.
So only when there are specific occasions in which spellcasters are allowed to participate on a level of utilizing their abilities. Only on those specific special occasions is magic ever involved in this kind of deal.
Yeah. Well, luckily, I've got me a new body, so I'm feeling confident. Not too confident though. I mean, I just feel excited, I think.
They're gonna be accepting of your new form, or they're gonna maybe call shenanigans.
So these types of people, I think with the crowd and everything, it all goes, at least in my experience, based on how the crowd reacts. And so I feel like this is something where, I'm going to money. I don't look too far fetched off of, being a guy in metal armor. So it's not quite that bad. Well, no, I don't think that they would let you fight in straight up armor, at least in, the places that I go to, but I'm not at least suggesting. Well, do you have a disguise kit? Because I'm actually pretty good at it.
Well, no, I have a disguise kit. I got it back. But I know you had that one ability to just transform the way you looked. But
Oh, you're talking about alter self? Well, you remember we talked about this the other day. See, if I use alter self and somebody punches me hard enough, I might end up just dropping the spell on accident. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I mean, if you can think of a facility that's cool with your current Can they maybe somebody you already fought, or people who already know you, or I don't know if they would be cool with it, or if you want to just maybe sell yourself as Metal Man, Iron Man, whatever you want to do. Maybe that's your like tagline or something, and people just
Well, you know the one-hit wonder.
sure, but you're gonna
They're
be
going to recognize that name, the one-hit wonder.
so you're gonna go in as
Now,
yourself.
maybe not all over Waterdeep, but especially if we go to the White Bull,
Mhm.
recognize the name One Hit Wonder. I know that
Full
for
Metal
sure.
Artifice.
Sure, sure. But do you want them to know it's you, or do you want to try to? Cause I'm thinking we can probably make a killing just with them not knowing who you are. But if
Yeah, I
they're
don't really care to reveal myself. I don't, to be honest.
okay,
And they didn't really know me personally anyway, except for Bologna. But maybe we
oh,
should pick her up.
speaking of
She might
her,
be able to make us some more money
how so?
because she always like, she was a hype girl. She was the one who was always getting people to place higher bets and stuff.
Hmm.
Now, of course, that was potentially lucrative back in my old body, but it's pretty risky because if I get hit one time, then like it's gonna knock me
Sure,
out.
sure.
Now I feel a little different.
Yeah, understandable. Before we left, like I knew you said you left your gold with them.
Well, not all of it.
How much do you have?
I'm keeping 200 gold on me.
Okay, I think I have something similar. Let me double
Cause I
check.
don't want to take 500 gold out
That's fair.
while we're
Okay, yeah,
getting tired and
I got a little more than 200. Yeah. All right.
yeah.
Okay, so you want to go pick her up and then go.
Mhm.
I know he described one of the places. The other two are the ones you already know, or no?
Yeah, David, did you get to finish that?
So I only told you about the Golden Fist Fight Club. So
Of course, I'll regale you on all this too. But by the way,
oh yeah, of course. So the other ones that you guys learn about is one called Sloshed Sally's Tavern. And in Sloshed Sally's Tavern, there's quite a bit of betting that goes on. The fights are generally open, though they're held in a place that is a little more private. There's like a yard that is behind the tavern or whatever where they hold the fights, but they typically only hold the fights at night. It's in one of the worst parts of town. So it's you walk into this part of town, you want to keep your coin purse close, right? Keep a hand on your goods essentially, or somebody might bump into you and make off with them. So that's the kind of part of town that it exists in. But greed runs rampant through the people that kind of come in and out of Slash Sally's Tavern, right? Um, so there's a lot of betting that goes on, um, and sometimes people walk away significantly more wealthy from this place with the combination of drunkenness and the number of scoundrels that attend or visit for the entertainment purposes. It is
yeah.
um, it is just a place that is it's not somewhere where a proper person would go. um,
Yeah.
so that's one of the other two places that you hear.
Well, Roland, there's another place. I mean, the big problem is that you're gonna have to, be able to keep a watch of your coin purse. Their bets are gonna be much higher, but that's mainly due to, people being drunk and whatnot. But of course, we're not gonna run into many great city folk there. It's gonna be mainly, well, let's just say scoundrels and whatnot. That place I do know about, and you may have heard of it before. I'm not sure, but yeah, Slosh
Now,
Sally's Tavern.
I'm not too worried about my coin purse being stolen. It will be in the safest place on my body.
so the
But
other
oh, go ahead.
The other fighting thing that you guys have heard about or whatever, and it's not run by a particular organization or held out of a particular building or anything. So in and among part of the city guards training, as well as some of the local denizens or whatever wanting to train in their combat capabilities, will oftentimes hold an event. Now, whether or not this event is taking place currently, is unlikely, especially at night. It's generally something that's held during the day, and it generally lasts for a week or two. And essentially, what it is just a public display of hand-to-hand combat between anybody who wants to participate. Really, it's not like a gladiatorial type deal. So the rules prevent
What you don't eat? Would you put it away?
death. Van, would you mind muting, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Anyway, so it's not like a gladiatorial. So there's typically not death that happens, and when a death does happen, they typically cancel the rest of the day or whatever. So, but outside of that, now given the time of year it is, if it's something that's not currently going on, it is definitely something that's going to be happening soon.
Yeah. Okay. Roland, what are you thinking the best place for us to go is? I mean, I'm confident in my abilities decently, but I don't know if I'm at the point where I can take on elite fighters.
What do you consider an elite fighter? I guess is what I'm trying to.
Almost top of the line in the city is elite.
But are you thinking of this in your current body, or you in the past? Like,
I mean, there's still some of the best. I mean, and I was pretty darn good too. But the thing is,
the one hit.
Yeah, but I won't even get into that. But I mean, with the new body, I'm decently confident in. I still seem to have good, good acrobatics and whatnot to be able to, pivot as much as I need to and whatnot. And it seems like I've got pretty good constitution in this body, especially that. But so I'm not worried about the one hit wonder thing necessarily. Maybe I can turn that around. But what I am worried about is the strength. If we get into pit fighting where it's just boxing and whatnot, then I think I'm good. But if we start getting into wrestling, mixed martial arts, so on and so forth, that's not my expertise. That would be more like a monk's thing.
Okay. I mean, ideally, I would try to. Again, this is just me imagining this. I'm not sure how much Roland would know about this, but getting you in the most like elite crowd possible. I'm sure there's some nobles here who like to place a bet or two on, a high stakes fight or something like that.
Yeah.
But that would be the ideal place. But that seems like the first place, the Golden Fist. Is that the right name?
Yeah, that was the Golden Fist, is the members only elite. I don't even know how we would really get in, to be honest with you, because it's typically invite. So here is what I'm thinking about it is perhaps if I get my name out there, maybe one of these days I can be invited to participate. That'll give me more practice in this body as well as not embarrassing myself as soon as I get into my first fight in the city. Potentially, that is, but and plus we don't have to worry about trying to either sneak in there or buy our way in.
I mean, okay, crazy idea, right? Absolutely insane. We go to the easiest place to get into, even if it's in the shabby part of town. People still talk. News still spreads. You go there, and depending on if you're up to it or not, you just challenge either their best fighter, just straight up, act real cocky about it. I'll promote you. I'll say all types of crazy stuff about how great you are, whatever. And we get that fight. You kick this guy's ass, and people were like, "Wow, this guy
Yeah.
dropped this dude," and they're saying your name and they're telling everybody about you.
Here's another thing is that I know we can't use magic. So even though I do have technically I have spells that can make me a better fighter,
Mm-hmm.
I would either agree upon with somebody else to use spells or not. Because we can always up the stakes, if you see what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Is there, or do you know of any fights that aren't strictly hand to hand, like ones that might include weapons?
I don't know. Do I DM? Do I know about any places that use hand to hand?
I guess are the ones, the three
Or
that
yeah, sorry, that use weapons.
I know you said the golden fish we don't know, but then the other two, I don't know if
Yeah.
So again, it's typically hand to hand. Only on special occasions are weapons allowed, unless it's like a gladiatorial type combat.
Usually it's a day thing.
Right.
Damn it.
If they're going to do some kind of like weapon fighting or whatever, those fights are typically to the death, and they're typically not going to be something that you just find happening, around this time.
Yeah, that's like an event
Schedule
thing in Waterdeep. Yeah, you get your RSVP for that.
We had our own tournament.
Cool.
Oh,
We'd have to, rent out a place and organize it and everything. We'd have to have a business of repute, of course.
I mean, people will come for money, so it's not that if the pot, the winning
Right.
prize is like valuable enough, you'll get fighters coming in all over the place, and you charge them an entry fee, so then the pot gets even bigger. So, or even if the pot doesn't get bigger, we just collect all that money, and then we've made back whatever we're gonna lose plus whatever, from the prize. And then if you enter as
Potentially, yeah.
and you win, then we just keep the prize money. But that's kind of a underhanded
Part of it, yeah.
thing. But you get to
Well,
fight,
I mean,
you get money.
there's no reason that the tournament can't sponsor me, but that's a different thing. So actually, I have a question for you, DM.
Yeah.
You said there was a third place.
Oh well, so the third thing that I was talking
It's just
about was the set
kind
of
of,
events. It's
asking
like
whatever.
the week to 2 week event that takes place during the day when hand-to-hand combat is set up as like an open, like anybody can come in and fight if they want to, and it's typically a public event.
Okay. Well, I'll regale that to Roland. So yeah, of course, there's also places we can go to where week to week, publicly open. We can just go in there, fight. I have no idea whether they're open or not, though.
Is there an entry fee for any of these places other than the Golden Fist, which is invite only?
Golden Fist definitely. At least I assume they would. I could also assume Slosh Sally's Tavern wouldn't, but
Right.
am I
No,
wrong
it
about
is.
that?
No, it's basically like everybody kind of stands on the sidelines and somebody just kind of jumps in if they want.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking we should probably go to Slosh Sally's, but most likely you should hold the money.
Sure. I mean, you can give it to Bologna if you want, but I mean, if we're gonna get her,
maybe not in that area. Matter
sure.
of fact, I mean, maybe we should wake her up just to hype things up a little bit because I would like to make some more money, and I did make money before. Speaking of that, I got to go back to my room actually at some point, but
yeah.
But beyond that though, we should. I think that we should head over Bologna's place, wake her up, a little tap on the glass.
Well, how often do you do that? Just a normal thing you do? Just
I mean, if she isn't already out, I mean, unfortunately we don't have wireless means of communication.
Oh no, I'm just saying you guys just stop by each other's places in the middle of the night, like, hey, what's going on? Want to do some stuff? Is that normal between the two of you? Just curious.
Yeah, I
Or
mean,
are
we've
they
known each
having
other
this
for quite a little
conversation?
while.
Have you left yet? I don't know if you left.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
left
So
and we're like
you-
walking around the city.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. They've already been out and about.
Skadrick, you need like mind sight or
I
something.
know, right?
Cry on us the whole time, like.
He loves getting
Yeah.
into other people's relationships.
It'd be great. We need like an orb that
I
way you
love-
guys can
I
watch
love
us. So yeah, well we'll head there. I'll go to Bologna's house, DM, and then we'll throw some pebbles at her glass lightly.
Okay. Yeah. So she comes to, pops the window open, and sees
kinda
you
house?
and begins to slip out.
She live in an affluent
Hey.
place, or is it a kind of low income area?
She lives over in the South Ward.
Not bad. Okay.
Is it
Well,
good? Is it
that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's not like near the water on the dock ward or anything like that. It's not that bad. So here's my proposition, Bologna, and I'll keep it to just a few words. You want to come make some money with us? Let's do it.
She says, of course. And she says, it'd be nice to have some excitement after the monotony that's been, and decides to go with you guys.
Hell yeah. All right. So I'll tell her, we're going to go to the Sloshed Sally's Tavern. Unless, of course, you know of some sort of better place as of recent that's placing a lot of bets. I know Sally's is kind of a, more shady area, but perhaps it'll be fine. I don't know. Have you been there before?
She mentions that she doesn't really go places like that. She said that people do typically have loose pockets there, at least from what she's heard from some of the fighters. Hanging out with you and having discussed with some of the other fighters during your bouts, or as you're getting ready for a bout or something, and in the past, she mentions that she's not really been there herself. It would be easy to persuade people if you were to start running a hustle. You could potentially fill your pockets with the coins of others. Maybe lose a fight or two, and
Ooh,
then
I don't know. You know me, I've never been one to do that. I mean, unless it was on accident.
I mean, speaking of, how long have you guys? I'm not talking to Bologna. How long have you guys known each other? We haven't already asked that question. Just curious. I don't need the looks from you.
And she kind of looks, longingly at Atlas, and she's like, "Oh, we've known each other for a while."
Ah, how long? It was like a few years since you were children.
About 4 years.
4?
About 4 years, yeah.
He likes to pry.
Just asking basic questions. I don't know this girl for me, other than she's a tiefling. So it's like,
and I'm just gonna be like, you wanna go?
I know. We're walking and talking. I thought, no.
Okay,
So-
all right, that's fine. That's
So
fine.
she looks and she says, "So, are we heading to your typical fighting spot, or
Yeah, well,
or did you want to try Sally's, or?"
the DM, what do I think about the Court of the White Bull? I know that's what I remember fighting at and everything, but like, is it average?
Yeah, it's not one of the largest fighting spots. It's a little bit of a smaller fighting spot. It typically has the same people show up on a regular basis. It's kind of got that feel that you walk in, and if you see the two people in the ring, you can almost guess how the fight's going to go. because you've seen the two people fight, quite a few times before, and it's typically the same handful of people that are fighting there. It's not bad. Every now and then somebody will come in from the outside to just kind of try and prove themselves or whatever. Maybe somebody
Yeah.
who has a hurt ego from a fight that they failed, or the inability to get into the Golden Fist or whatever. Or somebody
Well, you know what,
who's
Bologna? Go ahead. Go ahead.
or somebody who's tired of the thievery and scoundry that goes on in some of the under or lower lower areas of the city, the lesser areas of the city. Perhaps they wanted to find somewhere small where they can kind of scoot into and pull themselves out of that scoundry.
Well, just for old time's sake, Roland, if you're okay with this, we can try another night at Sloshed Sally's Tavern. But I'm thinking, since it's my first time back in town, I think maybe we should show the Court of the White Bull what I'm all about in this new body. Now, of course, we don't have to reveal who I am. I'm okay with that. But I mean, if you're fine with going there, it might be less money, but there's also less risk too. So,
Quick question. Okay,
what's that?
I'm asking Atlas. Is this the same place where you were injured?
Yeah, it was actually.
That gentleman who did that, is he still? Do you think he'd be around tonight?
Lambert?
Shit, whatever you want to call him, it's fine.
Yeah, he might be around.
Oh, okay.
Might just be.
I'm not, unaccustomed to a bit of the old revenge. If you're interested in something like that, that can be, in many cases, more valuable to one than even gold. If you were
Are you trying to
interested.
say that maybe I would
I'm
mess
not.
up and lose myself, or?
Oh no! I'm actually encouraging you to do this.
All right, so we're gonna take a right and then head up the high road.
Okay, yeah. So you guys kind of weave your way towards that.
Inspiration.
Give in to your anger.
I do want to make you aware, just in case you don't already know about it. I feel like we talked about it before. Xanathar's Guide to Everything has rules for this stuff, but if you want to use your own rules, also completely up to you. But just making you aware of it.
Yeah, it does. No, yeah, I remember.
Page 131.
Let me see what it has. I'm probably.
Technically, the rules in the book say something about, a work week of, like a week of work for the gold that you get or whatever, but I don't know if that counts since we're placing bets.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
And technically, there's chances for complications, which makes things very interesting.
Right.
Is
But
that
what were you saying, Roland?
Is that Lambert fellow? Is he
He's
considered the
spry?
best?
He was the best, at least when I was around, but there could be somebody better now.
Is he a cocky sort?
Oh yeah, no, you could definitely say that.
And why exactly did he break your legs again?
He just didn't stop.
But he was punching you in the face, presumably, right? To knock you out?
Okay, so this was a boxing tournament, and I got in very much so over my head. I'm willing to own up to that. I can definitely take responsibility for my part. I got in over my head because he's a very taunting individual. And, I was pretty confident in my abilities. My mentor of sorts did teach me very, very well how to bob and weave. But
Mhm.
the issue that I have, of course, is that easily taunted by people like him. So of course I accepted the match. And you know, we're there fighting, and he's, you know, throwing some hooks, uppercuts and whatnot, and I'm dodging a whole bunch of this stuff. And in the middle of the fight, he hits me one time in the face, and I don't go down. This is one of the only times that it doesn't happen. But it stuns me. And then he just wails on me all over my ribs and everything. And I try to, you know, as sad as it is just to say, I knew that I had lost the match at that point. So um, I wanted to leave. And so I turned around and he said, "Don't turn your back from me."
Mhm.
And then proceeded to punch me in the back a few times.
So he broke your
So
spine with
I can
punches.
only assume, knowing the bit of anatomy that I know about, that he broke my spine,
Hmm.
at least the lower parts. So I woke up very weak and I couldn't feel my legs.
Huh.
And so, yeah, I mean, if you're wondering, yes, there is a part of me that definitely wants to take out vengeance on him. But
Why did he have a grudge against you? Or was it just it's just what he did? He just normally just
he's just that kind of guy. He's just that kind of fighter. There are many different types of fighters. He's just a very, um, he's just that type of guy.
how big is this guy?
He's not as big as me now.
Okay, is he bigger than me?
How tall are you numerically?
I'm 6'2".
I'd say he's about an inch or two taller than you.
Oh,
He's a pretty big guy. I mean,
okay.
when I faced him, I was like, what, 5'9" or something, maybe.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've seen what you do to people when they, insult you in ways, pranks and all that. Uh, I am curious. I don't want you to, lose your head or completely in anger or revenge or whatever. That's reckless.
This is assuming we run into him tonight. We probably won't, but we'll see.
I mean, we've had some pretty good luck today. It hasn't been terrible. But I mean, you know,
I'll definitely say, if it ends up coming down to a fight with him, I will reveal myself, and there will be some higher place bets based on this fight because people know what happened.
sure, sure. I mean, I would personally would wait until right before I'm about to slit their throat to let them know that, oh yes, just so you know, this is who you were. Yeah,
What do you
but
mean slit their throat? You're not slitting anybody's throat.
no, just in this similar scenario, if I'm acting out my revenge on someone and they didn't know it was me, I like reveal myself at the end
Oh, I see.
right
You're
before I.
teaching me the very,
Well, I mean,
interesting plot points of vengeance.
you want them to be surprised at the end, right when they realize, oh my gosh, on their life
Who are you? Yeah, yeah.
choices,
I could see that.
oh, they're dead.
Yeah,
When
I could definitely see that.
I
But we
mean,
need to make money too.
sure, sure. I mean, if you take, let's say he is the biggest, baddest guy at this place, and you take him down. What's like a good? What do you think the odds are? What kind of money could we make?
I mean, we can make a lot of money if I go around if I throw around the phrase, um, what is it? One hit wonder.
Hmm.
Then, and they know Leo Bullet Lambert is going to be in that fight. It's going to be quite lucrative.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's up to you if you want to reveal yourself now, or you know.
If I know he's there, we'll see what happens. I'll tell you that. I don't know. I mean, you have changed my mind at least a little bit on it.
All right. So just to DM to expedite things, if we, I don't know if we we've gotten there because we've been walking and talking. I'm not sure how far away it was.
Yeah, no, you would have made it at least most of the way there.
So yeah, I guess when we get there, just try to scope the place out. I'd ask Atlas like if he sees any familiar faces, and then I guess he point people out to me. That's cool.
Okay. Let me do a couple things real quick. Da-da-da-da.
Oh, no.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So you guys come up on the place that you're talking about or whatever, and then you do see that there are lights on. So this place is pretty active for the most part, all 24 hours a day. Generally around between noon and 5 p.m. is the slowest that it is. And so you come up to it. You happened here. So you come up to it, Court of the White Bull. You enter in like the little courtyard or whatever, and you see the building there in the middle. And it's a fairly large building, big enough that there could be some fighting on the inside without the risk of very much damage, as Atlas, as you're aware. So you walk up and you guys approach the front door. The front door is like a swinging door. It's not latched, so it's open. You see the little sign hanging outside, and you hear quite a bit of noise coming from the inside. Go ahead and make a couple of perception rolls for me.
Okay.
So each of you just make a perception roll, just one.
Hell yeah.
Boom.
Nat 20.
Watch me get a 1. 19. Okay.
Cool. Okay, so you begin glancing around the room, right? And Atlas, right off the bat, you're already seeing a couple of familiar faces. You know some of the folks here. You recognize like the tavern owner, the person running the place, whatever. You recognize a couple of the barmaids that are running about, refilling drafts or, taking up some food. There's a little bit of food that's served here, not much. It's typically something simple, bread and potatoes, maybe some meat every now and then, lightly seasoned. You're looking around the place, and there's an air of familiarity. As you're looking around or whatever, you see one of the tables on the far side of the room, opposite the door. And it's a little bit of a crowd going on, so it's not the typical handful. Maybe perhaps in the time that you've been gone, there's been a touch of increase of people's visiting this particular tavern, right? As you're looking around the room or whatever, you see lying on the floor with its head in the air, whatever, kind of looking around or whatever, with a small rope tied around its neck, stretched up to a chair. Immediately, your dog. And you look at the person sitting in the chair, and
Oh no.
and so
Kill them.
Sitting in the chair that the dog's kind of makeshift leash is tied around is Leo the Bullet Lamprey. And he's sitting across from
him.
Are you making noises? Any audible? Atlas,
Go
you're all right?
on.
You're all right?
He's sitting at a table, and the table's it's a decent sized table or whatever. There's about 4 people kind of sitting around the table with him, and he seems to be telling some sort of story. And he'll say a couple of things or whatever, and then the people sitting around the table with him just kind of laugh. You see one of them slap a leg, one of them is laughing, almost knocks his mug over or whatever. And then you see Leo pick up his draft and kind of toss it back, takes it, slams the cup down, and then he kind of looks, and you see him mouth something, and then point at your dog on the floor, and then all of them just start laughing.
Okay, all right. You say crazy. If I'm seeing this too, do I recognize Atlas's dogs?
Just nothing but steam pouring from me.
Do I recognize his dog?
So with your 19 or whatever, you're looking around the room or whatever, and you see the dog on the floor, right? Kind of laying around with its head up, kind of looking around or whatever. You immediately see Atlas's reaction. Like suddenly, like he's kind of walking into the room, and becomes rigid. And his cloak does seem to have a slight billow where there is you hear this kind of begin to happen or whatever coming from him. As both of you guys are standing there, you hear a female voice. Can I help you, darling?
Yeah. Quick question. Just, I'm new in town and just trying to get a good, idea of the going-ons in this area. I've heard this is a fighting establishment or arena source. Is that
Of
true?
course it
Okay.
is.
Okay. And I heard there's a gentleman here that usually seen as one of the best, possibly the best here. Named Lambert. Is it
Oh, well,
familiar?
I don't know if he's the best, but he is mighty good.
Okay.
That's that fine gentleman sitting over on the other side of the wall there.
Oh, with the dog.
Yes, that'd be him. I
Oh, seems to be quite
told
the.
him he shouldn't have brought that dog in here, but he insisted, and it seems to be well behaved. So I told him it
Yes,
was
yes.
okay for the night.
He seems to be quite the entertainer. Do you know why what kind of story is he telling? Are you aware what's going on? Seems to have quite a crowd built around him.
Oh, well, stories going around seems he hurt this poor boy some time ago. Left him incapable of walking, as I remember. And poor boy seemed to have gotten frightened and skipped town,
Oh
as
yeah,
according to what Lambert says.
that seems like a sad story. No one over there seems to be that upset about it. They seem almost entertained and jovial about the whole matter.
Oh, well, I've not seen most of his friends there at the table with him, but I imagine he's probably telling them a story too.
Hmm. Hmm. Uh, could you bring me a drink? Just bring me one drink.
Yes, of course.
Or actually, bring me two.
I
And I just
certainly
flip
will.
her,
I imagine
flip her
one
a
for
piece of gold.
you and you.
No, for
Oh,
me.
well,
I need. I'm a heavy drinker. Just don't feel. Just keep
and
on. Just let everyone know it's fine.
so at this point, she's
Just
kind of
like my
standing there, and
alcohol.
she's looking Atlas up and down, and she's like, "And what about your strange friend here?"
Oh, he doesn't drink. He's more of a
I'm just gonna turn at her very, very slowly and just.
Yeah, the quicker you get those drinks here, I
I'm
give her
straight edge.
I give her 2 pieces of gold.
Oh, why, thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. I will, I'll grab those drinks for you, fine, handsome gentleman, and be right back. And
Okay.
she hurries off over where the counter is to pour a couple of drafts.
Okay. Atlas, buddy, I can tell you're a little bit, I guess the appropriate word is steamed about this whole affair. And I just want to let you know, I'm gonna help you get your dog back first and foremost, just so you know that's Priority 1 is getting the dog back now. 2, I know we talked about revenge before. I'm definitely still on board, but I have an idea. But I'm just kind of curious. What's your mindset now? Can you think clearly? Are you seeing red or whatever color is flying around in your head? I'm not sure how that works. Uh, just general thoughts.
All I can think about is that this liver spotted deuce of diamonds has my dog, and I'll do whatever it takes to get Moxie back.
Okay. You don't care about the gold at all? I don't. I'm
The gold is trivial.
fair. Okay. So, how embarrassing do you want this to be for him?
He took my legs.
Okay. Do you want to take his legs? Fine doing that.
I want to turn him into a diesel pumping pony soldier. That's what I feel like doing.
Okay, maybe we'll get more details on what that is later. But but I have a plan. Just to okay, I know if you want to follow me, you want me to explain it, but do you want the fight to be like a? Because I'm assuming there's going to be a fight. Do you want it to be a fight? Because we can start a
Oh,
fight,
yeah.
but I don't want it to
Oh,
be
yeah.
like a sloppy one, or do you want it to be like an organized one?
Oh, it can
Do you
be
have a preference?
organized. It's fine.
Okay, all right,
More
all
people watching, the better.
right. Okay, so I'm
I've
gonna be
been prepped for this forever.
your hype man / I don't really know. We're just gonna wing it. We're gonna improv. Does that sound good?
To a degree.
Okay.
I'm also going to be challenging him to a high stakes match, magic allowed.
Oh, I was just gonna have something happen now. You want to wait till we get that set up, or do you just wanna?
Somehow I feel like getting warmed up first, but
Okay, sure. Okay. I mean, you can do that now. I'll set this up. I mean, if you trust me to do that, it's fine if you want to do it. I don't know. Do you want him to know who you are, or do you want to keep it on the hush hush?
just say a traveler from out of town
Okay.
who's hasn't been back in a very long time
Mm.
is challenging him to a match. Can you
Mm.
remember that?
Yes. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
Okay, so when the hostess, not exactly sure what she is, owner of the establishment, did she leave a name? She give us a name?
No, she
Or does
didn't give
Atlas
it
know
name.
who she is? Okay. When she comes back over with the beverages,
Yeah, which is almost immediately.
gotcha. I'm gonna just
She's
take
made
both
her
of
move.
those.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go off somewhere where they're not a lot of people are really like looking at me. They're busy doing stuff. I'm just gonna toss one on myself just to, get the aroma building up on my body,
Okay.
and then just take the other one and just kind of like stand around for a few minutes, maybe murmur some things under my breath, kind of like nonsense,
Okay.
like freaking tieflings out here just fucking taking all good work and good women out here. Freaking goddamn dragonborn, some bitch. Just stay away from her. Get the Croic away from her. God damn it. It's just,
So, Atlas, as you're standing there, Bologna has now noticed the situation, and she had gone over to where the bar was or whatever to get a drink herself, and then looked back and noted that you were still standing, just like 6 steps inside the door, kind of staring or whatever. So she makes her way back over to where you are, and she's rubbing on your arm, and she's like, "What's going on, dear?"
Look, 10 o'clock.
And she looks over, and she's like, "You want to cut his throat, or do you want me to cut his throat?"
You want I slice his throat?
You know, I've never cut anybody's throat before.
There's a first time for everything.
Well, listen, darling, I do want to cut his throat, but another thing you got to know is that I got to do this right. I'm pretty angry, but tell you what, we were talking about something earlier with my dear old Roland, and I think I'm going to go through with it. I want a warm-up fight, and after the warm-up fight, win or lose, doesn't matter, preferably if I win, I want you to start tossing around the word one-hit wonder.
Okay.
But I don't want Lambert and his goons knowing about it yet.
Okay.
Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
Just be safe.
Yes, of
okay?
course. I certainly will.
I'm telling you, I got
Just
the
out of
biggest dick in
character, I
this
feel like
place.
Atlas's balls just dropped.
Okay. I'm rambling. I'm yelling.
Sure.
I'm gonna make my way over to Lambert's table, and I'm gonna bump into people on the way over, spill my
Okay.
drink, and then kind of crash into the table, kind of spilling my drink on Lambert's lap. Be like, oh yeah, I got the biggest dick in this place, yeah.
And he
That's
he
what's-
looks down in his
Yeah.
lap, and he grabs you by the cloak, and he
Oh,
kind of turns and slams you against the wall,
oh, yeah.
and he says, "You need to watch yourself here, fella."
Don't assume my gender, you piece of shit. Just, like, anyway.
He says,
Oh, hey,
"If
you're
you don't watch your mouth, you'll end up without one anyway."
gonna tie it shutter. What? How do you remove someone's mouth without? You're still gonna be a hole. You know what? It doesn't matter.
Your gender, not your mouth.
Oh, okay. Anyway, you sir,
Jeez.
you're that what's his name? Limp? No. Bullshit? No. Bullet. You're Bullet, right?
And you're too drunk to be fighting anybody.
I'm not a fighter. I'm not a fighter. I'm more of a lover, but I'm not a fighter. I will say, sir, I've heard quite a few stories about you over the recent days. I'm new.
I'm
Is
sure
that-
you have.
Wow, that woman's attractive.
And
I'm
he's like,
staring at the wall. And I'm saying this. That woman is really attractive.
he says, "And you're disturbing me and my friends. I think you need to leave." And then he takes you by the hem of your cloak and then just kind of tosses you away from the table, like
okay.
forcefully pushes you by the hem of your cloak away from the table.
Okay. Am I still upright?
Well, so given the fact that you're not actually drunk, what I would say is make a performance check or a deceit check to see if you can retain
Mr.
the.
I'm kind of doing pulling like you've seen the Legend of the Drunken Master.
Sure.
I'm pulling like
Yes.
one of those like off sloppily
Yeah,
like
Rock Lee.
really I kind of
Right.
like stand back up. So I'm doing that, and I'm gonna kind of turn
So
back
either,
around. Oh, you wanted to still roll?
yeah, either roll a deceit check or a performance check
Oh,
to
Jesus.
see if you can make it look like you're drunk without actually falling on the floor.
Can I just do acrobatics?
No. Sorry. Sorry.
All right, deceit or performance?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's equally. Oh no, deception is good.
Deception.
No, it's not. It was a +3. It still got an 8.
So he sees you like fake stumble,
Mm-hmm.
and he looks at you and he's like, what game are you playing? What are you getting at here?
Just gonna do a little bit of a jig. kind of little tap dance thing.
Okay.
I've always been light on my feet, sir. Drunk or not. But the stories I've heard about you are that you are not only not light on your feet, you're the most limp dick fighter. And that's not me saying it. That's just what I've heard. I mean,
He grabs you with his left hand by the cloak and throws a punch at your face.
I'm trying to avoid it.
So he's just going to make an attack roll plus his strength modifier, which is not going to be enough.
Okay.
Limp
I'll
dick.
I'll like graze my face, but like really just kind of like slosh over like I'm like drunk and it just missed, right? Oh, see, you can't even hit me, and I'm drunk as a skunk.
And he says, all right. He says, you and I, we're going right now.
Oh no,
And
see,
he grabs both hands onto your cloak and
Mhm.
begins to forcefully drag you into like this open area that is absent of tables or whatever. And at this point, you guys have drawn the attention of most of the people in the tavern. And he is dragging you into the ring, essentially.
you know what? I understand you're upset. If someone was saying all this craziness about me, I'd be upset too. However, like I said, I am not a fighter. I am a lover. But I do know a fighter who can fight in my stead, and I guarantee you couldn't take him, even in your best day.
He says, oh, I'll take him as soon as I'm done with you.
Oh well, you know, whatever you want to do. I mean, I don't want to embarrass you, and then beating me does nothing, right?
He
But
stands you up.
I'm willing to bet you 200 gold right now,
Oh God.
right now, that you
Oh,
can
God.
take this guy. This guy's he's like way over you, and he's like just freaking. He's like a machine. He'll I mean, I'm telling you, he'll knock your block off.
As soon as you say 200 gold,
Yeah.
he's about to throw another swing at you. As soon as you say the 200 gold, he stops and he stands up straight, kind of, removing himself from his fighting pose. And he looks at you and he says, it looks like you've drank the first half of your gold. How can I be sure that you have 200 gold to bet?
Trust me, sir. You see my clothes. I am a gentleman and a scholar, and
He says,
I can back it up. I'm good for it.
right. He
I
looks over and he
I
says,
reach into my pants and I just pull out 50 gold in my hand, like a handful. Like, there's more where that came from, buddy.
he slaps at your hand to knock the gold on the floor.
He's not getting that out of my hand. I got a death grip on my gold.
Death grip.
So make a strength check.
Oh, come on,
And
man.
he's going to make an opposing strength
I was
check.
gonna move my hand. Can I use dexterity?
So we'll do 2 rolls.
Okay,
First,
sure.
we'll do dexterity checks,
Okay.
which he's likely to fail.
Oh,
22. Oh, it's dexterity.
Yeah,
Damn it.
no, see, he goes to slap at your hand, and you just move your hand out of the way.
Okay. And then the other one's a strength.
You don't have to roll the strength. He
Gotcha.
wasn't able to slap your hand, so.
All right. So, nice try, buddy. But I told you I'm good. I'm quick.
So he looks at you and he says, fine, produce your friend, and as soon as I'm done with him, I'm fighting you too.
Okay. Richard. Not Richard. What's this? And I try to find Atlas in the crowd, basically. If are you
He's
looking
easy
at
to
this?
spot.
Okay.
he's easy to spot in the crowd. He's standing over in the entrance, like about, he's probably about 10 steps inside the entrance now.
Okay. Let's see. What's a good name? What's a good name?
Dallas.
What'd you say?
Said Dallas.
Okay.
You're trying to come up with a drunk name.
Aldwin. My good buddy Aldwin here. Aldwin, come on up, buddy. Show this guy what you're made of.
I'm now rooting for the other guy spiritually.
God. It's Bologna. Did she already walk off and do her thing?
Yes, she has walked off, and you find her sitting at a random table now with some random folks. She's kind of talking to him. She's got her own draft in her hand.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I think to myself that I'm probably not going to get that warm up fight I was thinking about, but that's okay. And are they like at the entrance of the pit fighting area or further away?
They're over near it.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna walk. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull off my robe.
Mhm.
I'm gonna set it on the table Bologna is sitting at, fold it up nice and slowly, set it down, and then I'm gonna walk my giant metal ass right past Roland and Leo Bullet Lambert into that room. Glowing, steam, whatever, I don't care.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna look at
So he's already in there. So you walk past Roland, but he's
Oh, I see.
Lambert's standing in there waiting on you.
And then I'm gonna
what's his
walk
facial
in
expression?
there and just look at him in the eyes and then look away and move.
So he looks at you for a moment and roll an insight check real quick.
Who, both of us, or just
Yeah, but you both can. You both can.
okay? And
Got me a 13.
got me a 7.
Okay. So
Lucky number.
with the 13, you almost, like at a glance, it almost looked for a moment like there was a different expression on Lambert's face when he first sees you. But if you caught that glance, it was only fleeting. It was only a fleeting moment. And then he looks at you and he's like, you look like a fragile one. And he says, but since you're not human, I say we up the stakes.
Oh God.
Go on.
He says, 500 gold.
That's it.
500 gold.
500. I
That's
mean,
gonna be it.
yeah, that's fine.
Say we-
I'm good for it. I'm good for looking at everybody. I'm good for it. Yeah, obviously. You know what? No, I'm not even.
Is he asking you or is he asking me?
I made the bet, so I assume
He's-
asking, but he might be asking you. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so he's talking to you. He assumes that the two of you are in league. Since he was just talking to you and asked you, Roland, he was just talking to you and asked you to produce your friend, and this is the person who walks in.
Okay.
So Atlas, he's talking to you.
Gotcha.
If you say we put 500 gold on it, and I say we make the stakes even a little higher. Any of your
And
buddies
he-
gotta go ahead.
He gets this cynical grin on his face, or this sinister grin, and he says, and what else
Maybe
do you
one
want
of
to
your-
lose?
Maybe one of your weak buddies out there has a potion for you to drink down or something. So that way you can be a little bit stronger for this fight. I say we introduce a little bit of arcane elements into this fight.
Oh God.
And he looks at you and he says, I might be eager to fight, but I'm not stupid. I go all hands.
All hands it is.
Hey, I got a proposition for you though. Bull crap.
And
You
he looks over at you and he's like, "Can we make this quick?"
yeah. But I want something else other than I want to take your dignity with this, other than your gold. So 500 and let's see what you got. What do you got? Whatever. So I'm looking at him trying to see what he's got on his person, and then I'm like, and I look over to the table and I go, you take your damn dog if we win. Son of a bitch.
And he kind of sits back for a moment. He's looking at you and he's thinking and he's like, "Oh, that dog means quite a bit to me."
No,
And
yeah,
so
I'm sure.
what else do you add to your side of the pot?
Pull out the wand of secrets.
And he looks at it and
my
he's like,
god!
I would have pulled out the gemstone, but okay.
I didn't know you had a
he looks at
gemstone.
it and he says, "All right, 500
pressure.
gold and my dog for your wand."
I don't tell him what it is. I just pull it out.
He says,
You better slide a hand that shit.
"It better be worth it." He says, he's looking at you and looking at the wand, and he's like, "Dog's getting old anyways." And he says, "Well, let's get on with it."
Oh, you don't want to do a warm up? Yeah, you look a little tired there.
He looks and he says,
Don't want you to complain in line and say, "Yo, I would."
he says, "Oh, I don't think I need a warm up. But if your friend here is scared, maybe we can give him one."
Scared? He's
I'm
never
just,
scared. The man doesn't know fear.
I'm gonna pull off the lance, pull off the bag of holding and everything, and go set it by rolling. And then I'm just gonna go get in my stance and tighten up
All
my
right.
bandages on my arm
Jesus.
real tight, and then just get into stance.
All right.
This is an interesting night.
So as you guys are standing there getting ready, rolling, you begin to hear the crowd around you, and you hear Bologna's voice in and amongst the crowd or whatever, and she is making a couple of bets herself. The favor of who's going to win the fight is kind of split down the middle, it seems, in the tavern. The people who know Lambert, know that he's a good fighter, that he has done very well in the past, but then there are other people who are seeing this, robotic looking, this automaton, and don't have the confidence that the rest of the tavern has, right? And so they're kind of back and forth. So there's a lot of betting going on right now. A lot of people are tossing coin one way or another. And so one of the things that happens when this happens is generally one of the maidens or in the one of the barmaids in the tavern begins to come around with like this hat type deal or whatever, and anybody that's putting money in, she's beginning to collect the money and write down on a ledger who's betting for what or whatever, just to keep the sincerity of the people in the tavern, right? To force them to retain that sincerity. And so kind of collecting that money or whatever. And so just as Atlas, just as you and Lambert are getting ready to fight, he he looks at you and he kind of looks down and he says, "Hope you like your legs. This might
Damn.
be the last night you have."
Oh shit!
Um,
Oh,
okay, so first, initiative. We're gonna go ahead and roll initiative here.
oh man.
Okay. So since we're rolling initiative, do you
Yep.
want me to still use the D6 that you had me use in the beginning of the game, considering normally I use like the lance or whatever?
So essentially, what we'll be doing is, I think for bare knuckle boxing, it's like a D4 plus your strength modifier. It's actually a D2 plus your strength modifier, but we're just going to go D4.
So with a Battlesmith Artificer, I'm supposed to be able to use intelligence for attack rolls. Does that count here, or is it just going to be straight up strength? Because I don't know how well I'm going to fare without dexterity or strength, but
I think I'll let you use your intelligence modifier.
okay, cool.
But we're
works with
still
me.
going to do a D4.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
All right. Check our rolls here. Okay. All right. So you have the first opportunity for a swing.
Okay, so it's basically for just an attack roll is going to be a d20 plus the modifier and proficiency bonus.
Right.
Okay, so I'll just roll a d20 and I'll tell you what the mod is. It should be 7. So I'm going to go ahead and do the first roll. 17. Move up and hit.
Okay. That's a miss.
Interesting. Okay.
DM, from what I can tell, what is Lambert wearing? Is he just in cloth? He's not wearing armor or anything like that, right?
I see. Scrolling through his. Stuff here. Okay, apologies. I need to remove that. That's a hit.
Okay, cool. That's great. So
Yeah, I had to
so
quit.
from what he's not wearing like half plate or anything, is he?
No.
Okay. I have literally no armor. I mean, I technically have my dex, but
Well, I have the world's worst rolls, so you're probably safe.
okay.
Okay.
So you said it was a hit, or
Yeah, it's a hit. It's a hit.
okay. So I'll do the D4 plus. Should be 4. D4 plus 4. That's 6 damage.
Okay.
Rolled a 2 plus 4. It's 6.
All right. Okay,
We
so
need some
now.
like tavern brawl music or something.
Yeah,
That'd be
right.
great if we could find royalty free.
All right, so now he's going to attack. He rolls a 15.
That's a hit.
Okay. He's going to do 7 damage.
Okay. Down a little bit.
Okay, he looks at you. He takes a hit, right, and he looks back at you, and then he does like an uppercut, whatever, catching you in the stomach or whatever.
He hits me, and I get hit, and I'm just like, oh, I'm not as fast as I used to be, I suppose.
And he says to you, he says, "I'm going to teach you the same thing I taught that kid."
the fuck?
Maybe that kid learned a lesson.
Go ahead and roll again. Your go.
Jesus.
Atlas, roll an attack. Go ahead.
Okay. That. Oof, not as good. That's 12.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Just
sorry, that's a 13.
just
It's a
barely
6
missed
plus
it.
7. Okay.
All right.
That's a hit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
If he's
Oh, man.
oof.
I don't know
Got
why.
8.
That's 8 damage. Yeah.
You rolled max.
Oh,
did.
shit.
Okay, so I'm down to there, and I'm gonna go. You know what? Is there any way I can use an insight roll to try to read his movements to maybe get an advantage?
I would allow that.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna use Flash of Genius. It's not a magical ability, just
Right,
an
right, yeah.
artificer thing.
Sure.
So it gives me a +4 to this roll, basically.
Okay.
So insight roll, that's total of 23.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'll give you advantage on one attack. On your next
Okay.
attack.
Okay.
So
On the next
he
attack,
kind of brings a left hook around, catching you across the jaw. He's like, "How you like the taste of that one?"
I like the taste of your footwork.
All right, go ahead and make your attack.
Cool. That's a lot
Oh,
better.
yeah, that's
that
a
was
hit.
24.
Yeah, it's definitely a hit.
Okay.
Teach Atlas how to do better insults. Mental.
So it's a 6 again.
Okay. All right, so he gets hit. You hear a little breath come out of him when you hit him.
Okay.
The crowd is beginning to grow in excitement, seeing how the fight's going. You hear Bologna's voice, "Come on, babe." He throws a hook that's a 10, which is going to be
That's
a
a
miss.
Okay. I'm gonna try to hook him this
Okay.
time.
Yeah, go for it. Make an attack.
Oof, okay, that time that's an 18.
Yep, that's a hit.
Sweet. Okay, brilliant. All right, so this roll is a 8 max.
Nice.
I'm gonna say, do you like the taste of metal? Did you get enough iron?
Hey, DM, how's Lambert looking? Can I do perception on that?
Sure. Yeah, make a perception roll.
Okay.
Yeah, we really need some music, don't we?
He needs
So
to
make
pull
your-
out a knife or something.
Wow. I must actually be drunk.
Nat one of the. Is that the first nat one of the night?
Yep.
That is. So you can't quite
The
tell.
crowd's too big.
He seems to be doing okay from what you can see, but there's like a blur of fists going right now. So you're gonna watch closely, and maybe all that acting has gone to your head.
Oh, you know what? I thought about this.
Uh-huh.
Since I just took my turn, is it possible as a bonus action I can use a medicine check to see how he's doing myself?
I think a medicine check would be a little more specific, so you would have to have a little more time for that.
Okay.
But you could do a perception check.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try. Okay, 15.
He seems to be okay. It looks like, he's got just a touch of blood coming from his lip.
Okay.
But outside of that, he seems like he's okay. But he throws another punch at you, but it's a swing and a miss.
Sweet. Okay. If he tries to throw
So-
another punch at me, I guess I'm just gonna
Yeah,
bob out of the weave and then try to clock him.
sure, go for it.
A lot better.
Oh yeah, that's a hit.
25. Okay. We're getting somewhere. That's 5 damage.
That one
Okay.
always looks bad.
I mean, we were talking on D4, so it's not that
Yeah,
bad.
no, I'm just saying, just seeing the one just look bad. You know?
It's because it's
Um,
Yeah.
He gets hit. He definitely begins to have an angry look on his face.
Mm.
go what's wrong?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
So as
Ooh.
he's throwing a swing, as he's throwing the swing, it's a duck and a miss, and he almost begins to lose his balance, but then repositions his footing, maintaining his balance.
Wow, those are wow.
Polar
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
those are some
Roll for,
interesting rolls.
that is the most amazing thing for him.
So he like throws a swing, but it's like super powerful or whatever, and like you duck under it, and he doesn't anticipate the miss and stumbles forwards, repositions.
And go,
and so
oh,
now
oh,
you guys
watch
are
yourself, Lee. Watch yourself. You're gonna hurt yourself in the ring with me, you know.
Go ahead and make your attack.
All right. That's a 15.
All right, that is a hit.
Sweet. 7 damage.
Okay. You hear him huff a couple of times, and he kind of turns and spits some blood. He turns back to you.
I guess I'll just laugh at him.
His face is red with anger. He swings for a 13.
That's a hit right on.
Oh wow.
Okay. He does 7 damage.
Okay.
You guys hear the crowd now, and the crowd is like they're yelling. There are some that are yelling insults or whatever. There are a couple of folks that are like, "Oh, I should have bet the other way." You can hear Bologna's voice in the background. You got this, Atlas. Go.
Cool. I'm gonna actually try to do like a on my
Yeah,
turn. If I've backed up a little bit away from him,
Okay.
I would like to try some sort of acrobatics maneuver to
Okay.
maybe do like a spin kick or something like that.
Use legs in this?
Can try.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use Flash of Genius. Just in case.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a 25. Okay.
Okay. So
But that was just the acrobatics check, sorry.
right. So that doesn't count for your attack roll. That's
Right,
just the acrobatics check. So now make your attack roll.
The showmanship.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this. Please give it to me. Oh, it's a 13. That's okay.
So you do one of those like crazy flips where like your feet come up over you. You do kind of like a side flip kind of deal, and then throw your leg. He ducks under it, and he looks at you, and he's like, "It's gonna take more than that." And then he comes down with a downward hook as you're recovering from your,
Okay.
and he does 5 damage.
Calm down with the fancy stuff.
All right, go ahead and make your next attack.
All right. This time, after he hits me with his seemingly weak punch, I'm gonna try to knock him back.
Okay.
Okay, that's not bad. 20.
Yep. So are you like doing a shove?
Well, no, I was just. I mean, I guess sort of like one of these.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Are
But,
you?
I mean,
Is your
when I
intent?
said knock him back, I mean like just basically, what is it? Counter his blow.
Gotcha. Okay. 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 Yeah. Roll damage.
Okay. 8.
Okay.
Feeling decent.
And you hit him with both fists in the chest, and he stumbles back a couple of steps, and he's like, and he's like, "You haven't felt the full of me yet."
Yeah. Are you coming on to him or what?
Probably like a. I can't wait to see this.
So he. Okay. He looks at you and he says, "This is where it ends for you."
Okay.
And he
Barbarian.
seems to have gone into a rage.
I knew it.
Damn it, dude. How did you not tell me he's a barbarian?
He's a barbarian. Of course, he's a barbarian.
Like, shouldn't you have known this, Atlas? Do I recognize what just happened? DM, do I know what just happened?
Oh yeah.
He has a ton of hit points, by the way.
Roland, make
Just pointing that
another.
out.
Oh, god damn it. Perception?
Yeah, make another perception check.
18?
Okay, so he's looking battered.
Gotcha.
He's not terrible. He's definitely taken a hit.
Are there rounds in this? Like actual boxing rounds, or is this... No? Okay.
It's just one go, start to finish.
Is there a time limit at all?
Start to finish.
Anything I could maybe...
I mean, if you want to do something to try and intervene in the fight itself,
No, can't
you
do that.
absolutely
I
can.
wondered at that point, no magic, anything like that. So, do I want to know what the roll was? Okay. Whew. Wait, what was that for?
Okay, so that is going to be. Well, the 11 was for his attack.
Gotcha. I see that now.
So that's 8 damage.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Ooh, yeah, he's getting somewhere.
So he rears back, and he comes in and just with a huge swing, just.
So do I know if this is if rages and special class abilities and stuff are against the rules, or if it's frowned upon?
So it definitely. It's not that it's necessarily frowned upon because it's not a magical effect.
Right.
It's basically like him honing his adrenaline rush to benefit his fighting or whatever. So really it wouldn't be out of the bounds of a ring fight.
Okay. So on my turn,
Uh,
if he's gonna, I don't know, like, this is a hard decision, but I got to make it right quick. So I'm gonna try to, if I may, do an acrobatics to get away from him for just a moment to get back.
okay. Okay. So
And I'll,
So
Go
what
ahead.
I'll do is depending on your acrobatics roll, go ahead and make your acrobatics roll.
Okay, so I'll tell you what the total is in 17.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. So you definitely can put some distance between you and him.
Okay.
Now, you are still going to be in the ring,
Right.
but I'll give you that as like a bonus action.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave the ring,
Right.
but I'm gonna say to him,
Uh-huh.
You may have some rage built up inside you. I don't know if it's from childhood memories or you just being an asshole. But if you have that deep down inside of your core, then I have the light of Lathander in my core, and I'm gonna light one of the candles inside my chest.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll say that's your action.
All right, that's fine. And so that creates a headlight that shines out to 60 feet.
Oh wow.
Okay.
This is just something you gave me a while back.
Yes.
I haven't used it yet. This is the first time.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. And then he looks at you and he says, "Let's see your god serve you."
Okay. Does it seem to do anything to him at all? Does it?
Blind him. Disadvantage.
Since it's a headlight.
It's like a deer. He doesn't know what's coming at him.
He gives him a target to hit.
Yeah.
Just aim it directly in his eyeballs. Look him dead in the eyes.
I mean, it's like, candlelight, but it shines out, so it's not like it's a high lumens, high number of lumens or whatever.
Or is the temperature very high?
I'm
It's
just
not
wondering.
like 6,000 Kelvin, that bluish light.
No, not at all.
I'm just wondering why he did that.
So you shine the light.
When I look at, I read the description of headlight, and I'm like, I have to do something or I'm going to go down. So let me do something special. If he's pulling out class abilities.
Does it have effect? Or
Because
any
I'm a
kind?
caster. This isn't my thing.
Does it
Yeah.
have a what?
I was just wondering if the headlight thing had any effect, on anything. Does it do anything other than just give you, I guess, dark vision or something like that? I'm not sure.
I guess that's the moment where I'm just looking out at everybody and going, hey, watch this. And then
Oh my god. I might have to kill some people tonight. That's all I'm thinking. Probably just like, I'm gonna have to kill someone tonight. Not gonna be good.
Okay, so I'll give him
Probably not.
disadvantage for the distraction of the headlight.
Oh.
Just
Okay.
going, aw.
He looks at
That's
you
lame.
and he's like, "Oh, that's strange," and then throws a hook and misses.
I don't know. For a light to reach out 60 feet, that's a pretty strong light. That's like a flood lamp.
True.
I feel like that's a
That's
pretty
pretty-
reasonable.
Decent amount of light. It's not going to be a continual disadvantage just for the
Oh
one
yeah. No,
turn.
I understand. I understand. I just need something to not be destroyed.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Go ahead, Atlas. It's your turn.
I guess I wasted my turn and also his, but buy myself time.
I'm gonna shrink back into the crowd with the stealth roll. That's okay. It's gonna get a better vantage point. In this
Oh,
room.
maybe you shouldn't do that because I just rolled a nat 20 on this
That's
guy.
fine. I'm still doing it. 17.
So just roll for the
gonna-
dice twice. Okay.
Yep, roll a die twice.
Jesus Christ. It's literally a 7.
Dang.
Crit damage is a 7. We're
Ouch.
talking a D4. I hate.
I know.
Oh god.
And it's halved.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. Bludgeoning, it's half. All of it should have been half.
Oh well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
he should have been taking half damage this whole time since.
When
Oh, wait,
it's-
no, now it is because of the rage. That's
Yeah,
right.
the rage.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
No, I don't see myself getting out of this. We'll see.
Oh fuck.
Okay, so I'm just gonna look for a good vantage point to see the ring and everything, and maybe like hide in a good spot.
Okay.
Okay, just gonna wait. See
All right.
what's.
So this is not his attack roll. Well, it's a D100 anyway. So okay.
Like reckless.
All right. So he comes in for another swing.
Jesus.
Oof.
And definitely hits.
I'm gonna hunter's mark him. The record.
Oh yes.
Isn't that still like 7 damage though?
That is 7 damage.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I need to be doing some massive amounts of damage to him because
Artichoke.
okay. All right, so I guess I'm gonna miss him. I also
Honestly,
wonder
Atlas,
this. So
I'm-
if he's using class features and stuff, do I get my extra attack?
I was wondering that the whole time. I was.
well, then he should get extra attack too.
If he's
If
5th
he's
level or above.
Appropriate level.
If I'm fighting one-on-one with a 5th level barbarian, there's no way I'm getting out of this. I don't think there's any class that could get out of that.
Oh jeez. I could probably get.
I mean, of course you could leave.
Just dash away from him. He had to be. He couldn't get.
But this is the thing is like I'm fighting a barbarian with no magic, and that's what my kit does is magic and using weapons with magical like intelligence and shit like that.
Yeah, like at first I
So
thought,
I'm
man,
pretty
they
much
should have.
gypped out of like 25% of my kit. Or
I was
no,
thinking if-
75% of it.
Yeah, because he'd whip my ass with no weapons.
Anybody's, yeah.
Yeah, any of straight up.
Yeah, when he
That
popped
was-
out the rage, I was like, oh. Ding
Mild
ding.
miscalculation there.
I'm about to just start using magic and not even care.
Okay. This,
I mean, what can you do other than embarrass yourself and lose?
just calm down. I didn't have all the information. Obviously.
I mean, if he's pulling out class abilities and like rages, and all of a sudden his like skin is burning and shit.
Oh man.
This also depends on what kind of barbarian he is, because if he hasn't gone down yet, I can assume he's at least above 3rd level. This is very intense.
Yeah, because they got a D12 for their hit die.
I'm pretty sure I get a D8.
Straight up barbarian like fight is it with nothing but melee is hard.
I've taken
magic.
literally 42 points of damage.
Yeah.
Just gonna. Okay.
Isn't it his turn to attack?
It is.
Oh,
I'm looking at some other stuff. Sorry, guys.
How much stuff does he have?
No, it's okay. Do your thing. Make it
you know what, Atlas, it's out of character. Stepping away. I
yeah,
would
of course.
formally apologize for rooting for him. Now I actually feel bad.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
I mean,
But
if
the
I'm
only reason
being
I rooted
honest
for
here,
him
he's
was
probably
because
just
Roland called you.
yeah. If it were a fight to the death and this weren't pit fighting, this might be a different situation. But of course,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
DM, I have a mask on before this. Did I have my mask on the whole time we were doing this?
I mean, you haven't specified that you took it off.
Okay. Gotcha.
And like nobody's asked you to take it off, have they? I
No,
wasn't.
they have not. They have
No.
not.
And then-
Okay. I have an idea, but I'll let him take his turn or whatever. This is the only thing I know to do that might help.
How many?
I mean,
hit
it is
points
magic
do you-
related. Well, I've taken 42 so far.
He's taking a lot, but still, like.
So as you can
his
imagine,
health
I'm
pool is
getting
gonna
pretty
be
low.
Pretty high.
He's taking a lot as well, but I wasn't really counting.
I've got it marked down. Obviously.
Yeah, I would hope you have it marked down, or else that would have been a.
That would have been really stupid.
I would have been like, yeah, that decision of that fight was already made.
Oof.
Okay.
For your left, Skadrick would have said, "Don't do anything stupid."
Yep, yep.
Hey,
I said you really shouldn't leave, but
Hey, he asked me I told him we'd do this at some point, but I didn't think
Yeah.
it would go this poorly. He told me he would be able to handle this.
He was doing good.
I know until the
The
barbarian thing.
rage.
Yeah, I was actually doing pretty decently well until he pulled out that rage.
It's like, you didn't tell me he was a barbarian.
we need to start listening to "Don't Split the Party" before
okay. So
everything.
I was just making sure I have everything right.
We'll
Okay.
be fine.
I'm gonna.
We'll be fine.
I'm hitting decently well. Just decently well. I'm just gonna.
Snatch the dog.
Yeah, nobody has taken. Everybody is focused on the fight. Nobody has taken notice of you fading back from the front.
I want to get to a spot where no one's really, like, seeing me or anything, and then I'm gonna.
Arrow comes flying. Sorry. Go
I
ahead.
have Roper digestive juices. I just have that for some reason. I'm not sure how much. I'm assuming it's enough for like a flask or a bottle or something,
Right.
glass jar or something.
Mhm.
If it's a glass jar, I'm just gonna fling it in the ring at the guy
What?
in stealth.
I
So
would never want you to do that.
I know, but you're losing.
It appears as if I'm losing.
Oh, okay, I'll wait for Alice to take one more hit.
He's unconscious, beating on the ground. It looks like I'm
See what
beating.
I'm just gonna get up like Captain America. I can do this all day.
Action in stealth.
What sucks about this? I don't have any freaking armor. I'm like naked. This is what's so horrible.
Okay, so
Oh god.
he's gonna come over at you and uppercut.
Sweet, good for him.
That's 13. That's a hit.
Hits.
I think that hits right on. He does
Yeah.
9 damage. That's amazing.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's 9 damage.
Perception check,
Hmm.
Atlas.
Should Roland be in the initiative order now? Is this
that's
not
why
happening? Oh shit!
Net 20. How fucked up does Atlas look right
Compared to Leo.
now? Does he look like he's about to go down?
You want me to take my hit points?
Yeah, that's fine. With a 25 percent,
Okay.
with a critical success.
Out of the 60 HP that I have in total, I have 9 left.
Yeah, I'm flinging that shit. So flinging it at him.
Roll initiative real quick.
Roll what? I'm sorry.
Initiative real quick.
Gotcha.
Just to see-
Gotcha.
I mean, I'll probably go back down by the time you.
Advantage. Oh, 20. So
Oh, okay, that's good.
yeah.
What was the advantage for?
No, so the dagger I have gives me advantage on initiative roll.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah.
So if I'm throwing this, is that a strength check? It's not so much the
No, that a throw would be a dexterity. Do a dexterity check.
dexterity check.
You're just throwing a vial of something.
Do I get advantage on stealth?
I gotta look through my notes and find the Roper digestive juices.
But do I have advantage on the throw because I'm in stealth and technically hidden? I don't know if I'm hidden, but rolled a 17.
Well, a 17's gonna hit.
No,
No,
same
that
for me.
that was
Oh, your stealth roll.
So
I
if I'm
mean,
hidden, I just roll.
you're hidden from him, but you're not technically hidden in general.
Is it
I
based
guess that would
on
still apply.
Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that would still apply.
Fucking A. Wow. Jesus.
This sucks.
It does.
Okay,
This is not going well.
I'm
Gonna
going.
go in the ring.
I'm gonna have so there's a large there's a pretty large group of people between you and the ring right now.
Mm-hmm.
In and among those, though the probability would be very small, in and among that group is another person who came along with you. So what I'm not going to do this roll. I'm going to let you do this roll. Just
Oh
roll,
God.
Stuck and fucking up. Okay, yeah.
roll a D100 for me.
Jesus Christ.
Mm.
Here we go. 40.
Okay, this is not bad.
Okay.
So
Man.
so now Atlas is on the left hand side of the ring, whatever. He's on the right. Everybody's kind of staring at the both of them or whatever. So you kind of lob it in his direction on the right hand side,
Uh-huh.
and it smashes in and among the crowd that is standing on the right side of this group or whatever. Before it gets to the ring. So Atlas, it's your go.
Okay. All right. Guess I'm gonna take a risk here, and
I was trying to save him some embarrassment.
we know how risks go, but I'm just gonna. This is what I'm gonna do. Just in case he tries to strike me when I say this, I'm gonna use my action as the dodge action for this turn. But as as I'm doing that, just watching him, I'm gonna say, so you like to fight your foes at their weakest, huh? I mentioned magic earlier and you seemed pussy out.
And okay. So are you going for intimidation there, or persuasion, or what is your intent?
I mean, I'm just talking to the guy.
Just talking shit.
Are you trying to persuade him to allow you to use magic?
I mean, I suppose I'm trying to taunt him to allow me to use it, but I don't know if that counts as either of those things. But
You can roll a persuasion check. Yeah, just roll a straight.
this is
persuasion.
my, I guess, last
So
flash
it-
of genius for the day.
Would typically be with disadvantage. However, because you're using it to taunt him in a way that would draw him out, I would give you advantage, so it would cancel each other out.
Okay.
Just a straight roll.
In my last flash of genius for the day.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Nat 20. Nat 20.
Look at you.
Okay.
The fuck is this fight?
Yeah, I guess I'll just say, like, yeah, let's pull ourselves together for a moment.
So he's rearing back to swing again. He's approaching you, and you yell at him, and he says, he turns, and he says to the crowd. He's looking at the crowd, kind of playing to the crowd, and he says, "Look, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be an Atlas all over again." And he says, "Should I let him use magic? Should I let him use his magic? Because clearly he wouldn't survive this fight any other way."
Dang.
So
Jesus.
roll. So he's playing into the crowd. I'll roll this. I'm gonna roll a D100, and if it is above 50, it'll be in your favor.
Oh
All right,
shit.
so I'm gonna go ahead and say this before you make it. Okay.
Or do you
No
want?
matter what,
Uh-huh.
no matter what, if he's talking to the crowd, I am secretly casting aid or something.
Okay. Do it with a sleight of hand check.
I have no more flash of geniuses, so this is just a flat roll.
Okay.
Okay, that's not too bad. I don't feel too bad about that, but.
Okay. All right. Do you want
um,
above 50 or below 50?
I'll take above 50.
Okay. So
Yeah.
above 50.
And I guess I'm casting blur secretly. That was below it, so
So he, above the crowd, he hears his friends yelling, "Finish him! Finish him!" So he's turning around now. So make another sleight of hand check.
okay.
After casting blur.
All right.
And make another sleight of hand
and I
check.
guess as I'm casting it, may I say something? While I'm casting it, can I say something?
So it's strictly verbal, so you have to.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
interesting.
and he
Yeah, I
couldn't
mean, I
even
guess
do a
in that
sleight of
case-
hand to cast that. He'd
Right.
have to do like a stealth roll,
Yeah.
wouldn't he?
Yeah. So make a stealth check instead.
Is that higher for you?
Okay. No, but I guess yeah, I'll do that. Now, do I have to say something specific, or can I say whatever I want?
No, you'd have to say something specific
Verbally.
for it. You'd have to say
Okay.
some sort of series of words or incantations or something.
Well, I guess I'm whispering it, and I don't have a mouth, so.
Well, into the crowd is screaming. So again, because
Yeah.
everybody's attention on you, it would have been with disadvantage, except that the crowd is screaming, which would have given you advantage because it's strictly verbal.
So just a stealth check.
So just a stealth check, yeah.
Okay. I feel it's above 10, but it's not quite that amazing.
So let me look at him real quick.
I mean, at this point, it hits me one more time, and I'm pretty much done. But
Well, I thought you were going to cast aid, but you decided to go with blur instead.
yeah, at the last second, I chose blur just because I mean, aid might buy me like one.
So he does not catch your blur casting.
Okay.
I can see it though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he
definitely-
probably sees something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he's looking at you, and begins to look with quite a bit of skepticism. He's going to try and roll an insight to see if he can figure out what's going on here. He is not a very smart person.
Good for him.
This has been
Why can't he roll these 2s on attack rolls? I'm pretty sure all he needs to roll is a 9 or higher to hit me.
Mm-hmm.
So I've practically a 50% chance of losing right here.
And if he attacks reckless, he erases your disadvantage. Fuck.
Yeah.
But then you have advantage to attack him. But
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it puts me in favor in a way.
Hmm.
To a degree, it does, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
So he's going to come up and make his attack.
of course he hits. Oh, of course he hits.
He took the disadvantage because he didn't know what it was.
Yep.
Damn.
So, how much damage is it?
Oh shit.
It
That's
is
another
9
nine?
damage.
That's straight up 0 right there.
Jesus Christ.
So he walks up.
That's a knockout.
How's he not
Roll
the best
see
fighter?
Atlas's body just crumple to the floor. Now, he did non-lethal damage, so it just made you go
course, yeah.
unconscious. He turns to the crowd.
Oh shit. Can I roll something to see if I sense a disturbance in the force? I ain't wearing Jedi shit today. I have the pants on too. It's Star Wars. I'm just saying.
If
I'm
Yoda was
worried
been
now.
using magic this whole time, I would have kicked his ass.
I'll let you roll, but I don't know if
Disadvantage.
the roll's going to mean anything.
I'm afraid.
So
Van is afraid.
just turns to the crowd, and he goes, and the
What a
crowd's
dick.
like going wild or
Yeah.
whatever. Bologna immediately jumps into the ring and runs over to where Atlas is, leans over his body, whatever. And so he starts looking out into the crowd or whatever, and he says, "No, where's my money and my wand?" So he's out for you.
Does he see me? I mean, he's looking to roll a perception, right, or something.
He seems to have no clue where you are.
I'm gonna mosey my way. Atlas's knocked out body.
Now, if
Yeah, I know.
as soon as you leave the crowd, he's going to see you.
Yeah, I got you. I'm just gonna get over there before, like, he can like find me. So as he's looking out to the crowd, I'm gonna come around the other. If he's not on the same exact side as Atlas, I guess he's know where they are.
Oh my god. Oh my. Hey. I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Can my steel defender repair me since it's inside of me? It has a repair action 3 times a day.
Oh, Jesus.
And it heals 2d8 plus 2 hit points to any construct.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
does it attack? Because it's a class ability.
It can technically attack.
Oh my god, you could have had 2 attacks.
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it has a repair function. 3 times a day, 2d8 plus 2.
Huh. Let me
That would cancel out his barbarian feature. His rate.
actually.
Can it be activated when you're unconscious? Like, is it independent of you?
All right. Well, I'll read into it.
Let me also look. Where
would
is my other?
I can only imagine it might have been something he would have done.
In combat, the steel
In
defender
combat.
shares your initiative, but it takes its turn immediately after your turn. Let's see. It doesn't say anything about if you die, but I didn't die.
You're just unconscious. Like, do
Right.
you have to issue it commands, all that kind of stuff, or? I assume if it acts on your turn.
Technically, well, like it uses your bonus action, but I'm not sure if it's like a telepathic thing or
Does it
what.
have a stat sheet? That's kind of.
Yeah, it does. It has
like
a stat sheet.
Does it have an intellect score?
It has a flat out 4 for intellect.
Okay, then.
But
I
so
think that could be
dude
an
is like a
argument for it.
dog.
Must
Yeah,
have
I
hurt.
think that would be an argument for it being able to act on its own,
Right.
unless it couldn't get out of your body without you releasing it or something like that.
Knocked out. I was just gonna go up and do cure wounds on him.
Oh, well, there you go.
Gotcha.
You can use cure wounds.
Yes, I have it.
Because see, a round is 6
doesn't-
seconds.
he
In an
doesn't trust me.
OHKO, you have to let 10 seconds go by.
Oh Jesus.
But cure wounds, will that work on a construct?
Are
That
you
won't
really gonna
work
do
on
this
a
magic?
construct.
Cure wounds works on living
Does it?
constructs.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I was worried there for a second. I'm like, son of
Yeah,
a
no, you don't have
bitch.
to. It's not like 3.5 where you have to use repair
Okay.
spells and stuff.
Yes.
So
Right? Is that what it is?
So for the time being, what we will say is, where you want. So essentially, what I'm getting is this would be a way that you would want to allow the fight to continue.
Yes, absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay. So I think that what we will do is, for this instance, we'll
It is 12:30.
right. for this instance, we'll just say that it doesn't. But I am going to read through that so that I can make sure I have that full knowledge or whatever for future reference or whatever. And now, in this particular circumstance, though, given that it's a 1v1 fight, using an outside source to heal yourself, that would be like somebody else aiding you in the fight. So that would have been like a frowned upon type situation or whatever.
They don't know what an artificer is. They'll be all right.
Fine.
I mean, I am a robot with a robot built inside of me.
Right. So for the time being, now that doesn't mean it's going to be this way in the future. Let me just read through all of that or whatever again to make sure that I have all of that. And then
Yeah, sorry, I should have told you it's page 61.
yeah, I'm looking at it now. That's the page I look at most in this book.
Jesus.
Anyway, so for the time being, we'll just say no. We're just going to say no, that it's it's a separate entity. It's not. It'll be in your chest or whatever. I know it sucks. But
well, does it have to be outside of my chest to repair me?
that is also something that I'm gonna, after I read through this rule set, I'll let you know.
Like custom.
Right. So after I read through these rule sets again, I'll let you know.
Y'all, it looks like we're gonna have a rematch sometime soon.
We not fist fight a barbarian.
Oh no, it's gonna happen. But this time I'm gonna be using my full class. I'm not gonna be pussyfooting around with just punching him,
So Roland, as you make your way back out into the ring or whatever to cast Cure Wounds on Atlas, you're approached by him, and he looks at you and he's like, "Time to pay up."
How beat up does he look right now?
I mean, he looks fairly beat up. He's taken a fair amount of damage.
Fair amount of damage.
Oh God.
Huh. I'm looking at an Atlas, who I assume is awake now. I mean, does he need to roll?
So Atlas, as soon as Roland casts Cure Wounds on you, you immediately come back to consciousness.
I'm not sure what that's.
Okay.
And what is Cure Wounds? Like, how many hit points is it? I think like.
Is it D8 or?
Pretty sure it's 2d4 plus your modifier.
Let me double check.
I'm gonna say if you
Yeah,
click the
really.
spell to activate it.
Yeah, it'll tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I know something on my sheet doesn't show up like. Oh, okay. Casting at level 1. That's so.
Okay, so you come back up with 7 hit points. You come back to consciousness.
Okay, that's good.
You guys also notice that some of the folks he was sitting with at the table have begun also to work their way into the ring, offering like congratulatory. One of them walks up, brings him a draft, and is just like holding it out. He's purely focused on you right now, Roland. His friend is over there, kind of like bumping him, like, "Hey, congratulations!" Blah blah blah. Holding this draft out to him, this mug of ale.
Okay, I'm just gonna say congratulations. You proved yourself to be quite the effective fighter.
And he says, "And you don't seem as drunk as you were, which means you're smart enough to know that you should pay me now."
Smart enough I could not pay you, and you couldn't do a damn thing about it. But that's beside the point.
You see, roll a perception check.
I'm just gonna offer him something else. But perception 22. Of
You see him clench his fist when you say that.
course he does. All right. I will say, this outcome isn't entirely unexpected. Of course, if I had all the information and I look at Atlas, I would probably have prepared a little more. Not sure if you've
I'm
heard of.
I'm gonna get up on one knee and I'm gonna say double the money.
I mean, I was going to do that, but yes, double. We
It
just
doesn't
talked.
come from me. It'll just come from me. It's fine.
So Roland, make a He looks at you and he says, "2 times the money, huh?"
Oh yeah.
And he says, "What's the value of that there wand?"
Nothing really. I'm not even sure. Uh, what was the price of that?
I'll throw in my own personal 500. It's fine.
DM, how much was this worth again? Was it 500?
I've got it. I'll have to look it up, but I've got it in my notes.
Okay.
So he looks and he says, "I'm thinking since you don't want to let it go, it's probably pretty valuable."
Well, I just don't want you to touch it. Your hands are kind of disgusting.
He says, "Seeing as how it belongs to me, I don't see that as a problem."
Well, you haven't quite taken possession of it yet. And again, I would like to offer you double what the bet was tonight.
He turns to the crowd and he says, "You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? This here gent doesn't want to pay me what I'm owed."
That's not what I said.
And he turns back and he says, "Okay, so how about it? 500 and the wand."
At that point he says that, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna look into the crowd and I'm gonna say, how about double or nothing for one hit wonder versus Leo Bullet Lambert?
He he turns. Are you persuading him or the crowd?
Oh, I'm looking to the crowd and saying this. Because
Okay.
if he's trying to look at the crowd and say that, oh, we're not paying me no money, I'm gonna say what I want to say.
If he's looking at the crowd, I'm going to use the wand of secrets on him.
Ooh.
Okay.
We might turn this around, Troll.
Okay. So when you pull the wand out to use it, the 4 friends that are with him, 2 of which you have now learned are armed,
Uh-huh.
immediately draw their swords.
Okay, so if I did the perception check before that, I'm pretty sure I would have known this. Before I did that?
If you had decided to make a perception check when his friends approached, you might have noticed that you're correct.
Ask me to what the perception was, or was it?
Well, you didn't.
I did. I got a 22 on it. What was?
But that wasn't for. I think that was for the condition of Atlas, right?
No, that was for the condition of the
Oh,
barbarian.
right, of the barbarian, right. So you were checking him out specifically, not
Didn't
looking
you
through the
ask me
crowd.
to? I can't remember if you asked me to do one or not, but it might have been. Oh, you did, but I think I said I was just trying to talk to him. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Okay. So 2 of them now have swords drawn. They're looking at you holding the wand, and he turns and he
Like
says,
feeling it with my hand, and
he
I mean,
says, "So rather than give it to me, you plan to use it on me now?"
first off, you don't even know what this is, and I'm just gonna be waving it around like lackadaisically while trying to cast or use it. and I'm assuming the person who's I use it on doesn't actually know that I use it on them, just manifestation of energy or anything from what we've been doing, right? Is there like a direct, like, I guess, visible sign that they're under the effects of it?
Uh, no,
So,
not necessarily.
so could I
The
roll
fact
with
that you're standing there.
Well, never mind.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. I don't want to. I'm. Never mind. I'm good.
So the fact that you're standing there pointing it at him. Now I do think. Hang on a second. Let me look. Oh wait, not there. Let me go back and look at its. Okay, let's see.
Meanwhile, at the Harper bunker.
Just asleep.
Never split the party.
That's a bad idea. Bad.
I'm gonna kind of wake up groggily and go and sleep in the second bed in Skodik's room. Yeah, we need to be safe and stay together. Go back to sleep. I got your back, Skodik.
The fuck are you doing in here?
We gotta stay together. We gotta stay together. It's bad feelings. Bad feelings.
Have the other two come back yet? What's going on?
No, there's nobody here, man.
Oh God.
It's like 3 or 4 in the morning. Just go back to sleep. We're safe. We're safe. We're in the Harpers.
Hmm.
Oh, God.
Fucking barbarians.
I guess I'm at this point. I am gonna command my construct to come out and heal me.
Okay.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. So I found my notes, but there are a couple of things.
Is there something one of us can help you look for? And maybe
Yeah.
my notes? Is there
Looking for some of the effects. The Wand of Secrets effects.
Oh, it's in roll 20 if you search in roll 20.
Oh. Look at that.
this one's
Did you
different
know?
from what I have.
Did you
'cause-
know you can use it to know if there's a secret door or trap?
Yeah, no. So this is a little bit different than.
Yeah, wasn't this one a homebrew? This one that you gave me?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the homebrew
Aw.
Wand of Secrets.
I mean, from what I remember, it was that it had essentially one charge every 24
One charge
hours.
every 24 hours. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so he's going off of the basis that you're standing there pointing it at him, right?
I'm just kind of waving it around lackadaisically. If that requires me to actually, like, say, like, Wingardium Leviosa, I didn't think I needed to say a verbal cue for it. So I thought if I,
If you just wave it around to try and activate it without his knowledge.
yeah, so if I just sleight of hand, is that possible?
Yeah, make a sleight of hand check. So Atlas, you're calling to the crowd.
Oh yeah.
So make a persuasion roll
Mhm.
to the crowd or whatever, but do so with disadvantage.
Oh. Okay, yeah, that's shitty. Okay. The end.
Okay, so he does not notice you activating it.
Mm-hmm. Like, you know what? I mean, you talk a big game. You got your buddies here, make a big show of everything. You injure people unnecessarily. I mean, I'm just like, why don't you let us know? Just tell everybody here, what kind of man are you? Honestly, right down deep in your hearts, where you know when you look in the mirror, what kind of man are you?
And he looks at you and he says, I'm the kind of man that gets what I want. And what I want right now is my pay.
Oh, is all you want? You don't have any kind of fears or anything. You just nothing wrong with you. You're just a perfect guy who doesn't have any problems. Because we all got problems, right? I got problems. I'm sure your buddies have problems.
He says, everyone has problems.
He's just the most intelligent.
Yeah.
He's just dancing around the truth.
Barbarian is
Okay.
so clever. You doesn't have to worry about this.
My barbarians.
I mean,
Think about how you're wording things too. It's not about his intelligence, it's about how you're asking.
do you honestly think, sir, that you have no shit? Let's see.
He's standing there and he says,
I know.
I'm growing impatient.
Really?
Why don't you tell the crowd how you beat down Atlas and how you wouldn't stop and you ended up beating a boy almost half to death?
And he says, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Every bit.
Why did you enjoy beating a child?
He says, that little shit had it coming.
What could he have possibly done to you?
Wanted to stand up to me, wanted to fight me.
How insecure?
And did you take his dog too?
He said, oh yeah, I've got his dog. Dog was wandering the streets. It's mine now.
How insecure could you possibly be?
he says, a lot more insecure than you think I am.
And you know what? And that may be how you feel about yourself. How do you feel about the crowd? How do you feel about all the people who bet against you?
And he's like, most of these people out here are just a bunch of little shits.
Oh, you think you can
Oh
take
yeah?
Sucking in my glory.
Are there any people here with that are half orcs, DM? There's a reason I'm asking this, I promise.
Make a perception check.
Okay. I promise you there's an actual reason.
You think these? Okay, well that's how you think of the crowd. But what do you think of these? Your friends here, your buddies here. You think they're any better?
He says, absolutely not.
Oh.
Okay.
They're just like the rest of them.
I got a 14 perception.
So you do know there like is one particular half orc standing in the crowd, though the half orc that's there is not somebody you recognize.
That's fine. I'm gonna ask him how he feels about half orcs.
He says,
is he still raging?
No,
I'm sure he's calmed
down. Absolutely, okay. Yeah, he's
okay.
coming off of his rage. He says, look, are we just going to stand here and talk about these questions you're going to ask me? I'm not gonna
you have to tell the truth.
Life if he answers the question. He says, give you my personal life. Why don't you just pay me?
I'm going to speak orcish to the half orc.
I will pay you, but I'm just curious, speaking of pay, how much gold would it take for you to suck my dick?
He says,
I do that for free.
He at this point, you see anger just. He becomes incredibly like flush red, and he holds his hand
tired at all.
He snaps his fingers. I mean, he's. I mean, you beat him up pretty good. He's not, he's not without marks or whatever. So he he holds his hand up, snaps his fingers. When he does this, you guys see moving through the crowd, seemingly held aloft, a great axe.
Fuck you.
By the way, I
Fuck
commanded my Steel
hell.
Defender before this to heal me, so I don't know if that happened or not.
Did you roll that? Roll it. Don't
I
forget
didn't
to
roll it, but I put it out there though, so that way I could roll it.
Roll
And
it.
it's been and I'm just pointing out, it's been like a minute, and
Go
we've been
ahead and roll
talking.
God.
So I don't know if you're gonna let me do it multiple times or not, but it takes him 6 seconds to do it each time. I'm just pointing that out.
Go ahead.
So how many times are you gonna let me get away with using the Steel Defender to repair me? Because he has 3 times a day, and we've been talking for like 2 minutes.
Make a dexterity check.
Well, I'm not trying to do it sneakily, but I mean, I'll
Make a dexterity check for your Steel Defender. So roll a d20.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh, that sucks.
Add its dexterity modifier.
Okay. 14 for that first one.
Okay.
Is that
Um,
what does that change? Because it basically just requires my bonus action to use it.
right. So I'll give you twice. You can do it twice.
Okay. Okay. So it's 2d8 plus 2, so that's 15 and that's 17. Shit. And you gave me 7, right?
That's actually a really good roll.
So
Mhm.
22 and
Yeah.
then 17, that okay. I'm back up to decent.
So
Like a fucking medic Roomba. What the
there are a lot of
Oh.
things happening now. The crowd has begun to argue in and among themselves. There are a couple of people that yell, "Yeah, give him his pay that he is owed." There are a couple of people who are yelling like, "Yeah, quit stalling." And then there are some other people that are like, well, let's just wait and see what happens. A couple of the barmaids are beginning to recognize what's going on. And you guys hear the tavern owner shouting above everybody, "Not in my tavern! You will not have this fight in my tavern."
I'm glad they took it outside.
The tavern owner comes elbowing through the crowd.
As he's doing, I'm picking up my lance.
Just
This is like the fastest I've ever said a sentence. But yeah.
I'll meet you outside, buddy. We'll sell it.
Okay, so he looks at you and he says, "No, we're doing this here." And he, Roland, he is going to reach out to grab you.
Am I that close to him? I'm in melee range of him?
Sure, yeah. He's walked up. You guys are all standing right there.
Yeah, and I picked up my lance, so I'm gonna go ahead and rear that shit back. So and then I'm gonna say, you didn't fight a fair fight. You gave it your all, and you didn't allow me to give it my all.
So Roland, make a dexterity saving throw as he's reaching for you.
13.
And he's going to make an opposing. So he reaches out to try and grab you. You duck under him. Who has to work in the morning?
I have plenty of time.
I work in the afternoon, but
Okay. So Ricard, you've got to get up early.
Yeah, it seems like it doesn't matter whether or not I'm here or not. So it hasn't the most of the game, so I can just peel out.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Expected to go like.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was gonna take this long.
Expect you to lose, sir.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay. What we can do. Okay, how are we going to work this?
And that's a pretty good cliffhanger.
The only thing that I can think of is Roland and Atlas. We're going to have to do a separate stream.
I would stay for that. Be fine with that.
For a single session. I don't think I can do it tonight. I think I need to get up too.
Okay.
But maybe Sunday.
Sure.
No, I can't do it.
Okay. Could you guys do a weeknight?
Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
Okay.
Monday to Wednesday.
So maybe 2 to 3 hour session.
Okay, I'd be fine with that.
One night this week. Ricard and Skodrick, I am so sorry.
I'm also sorry. I didn't know we were gonna run into
it's fine.
like big bad evil guys.
Yeah.
This seems like important plot stuff for Atlas.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it's fine with it.
Yeah.
Just can't believe I lost. But are we leaving it off right there? That's a cliffhanger, right?
I think we're going to. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
12:52.
I just when you said that he started raging, I was like, oh, God, fuck. All right, great.
The best fighter in the tavern, or one of them. You know what else?
Yeah,
that's what he does. He fights.
Yeah.
Um,
God, that's what I used to do, and
You did good until you found out he was a barbarian.
I did really good. I mean, this was like basically a Dragon Ball Z fight where he basically pulls out his final form.
Yeah.
Right.
And by the
you're
end of the
Vegeta.
fight, he's like Frieza and scratches. And I tried to pull out a Kaioken by the end, but I should have done that shit in the beginning of the fight, to be honest with you. If I had done Blur from the beginning, that would have been a very different fight. But
we should have done
but then he might have grabbed his weapon earlier. Or God knows what would have happened.
Right.
Well, see, if he
figured it out.
raged, like I don't see why Blur would have been an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my idea on it too, is that he wasn't, I mean, he was fighting fair in regards to like having, like just melee combativeness, but I mean, he's using class features.
Yeah, but that's, I mean.
But I get it. I shouldn't be able to use
weren't...
like a fireball in here or something like that.
Yeah, imagine a monk.
Right.
Yeah, that's just like you using your flash of genius, because it's the same thing. It's just it's not a magical effect, just part of your flash.
Also technically, by the way, a lot of this stuff that David's been letting my character use hasn't technically been like magic. So like, just take for example Longstrider. It wasn't like I do use incantations and stuff, but it comes from my body.
But it's an activated magical effect.
Yeah, but I mean,
so it's,
I don't know. Is it the same as arcane magic? Because Eberron magic's very different.
Well, but we're not in Eberron, so
right.
Eberron magic wouldn't function here.
I don't think that's a good discussion for the evening.
Yeah.
But I mean,
it's his campaign, so it's up to him. So.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and end it here.
I thought you ended it already.
Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you.
No, God.
Interesting.
It's probably gonna be a stream midweek. Be ready for that.
Yeah, we'll try to
one shot.
What day? When? As Atlas and Roland experience this little side quest, and we'll see what kind of mess they get into or out of, depending on how things go.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited to see it. I had no intention of it going this way.
Same.
All right. We'll see y'all next time.
Yeah, we'll get out of here.
Bye, you guys. Thank y'all for joining us.
I had fun.
Love y'all.
Goodbye.